Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentle being kind souls from across these 28 known galaxies, welcome to Midnight Metal episode number 10. It's fucking Metal May! Right now, yeah, it is. Ha ha ha! Are you ready to get fucking metal? Yeah! First of all, it's always metal to come clean, man. It's metal to come clean. I gotta come clean. Hang on. Let me fix my fucking hair. So, someone who watched this show left a comment last week. I believe it was in episode 9. And said, come on, this show's a joke. This show is so not metal. Well, let me tell you. That's kind of the point. It's kind of fun and jokey. I am not maintaining that I am some metal god, although I wanted to be my whole life. But somebody said, and rightfully so, they pointed out when someone wrote in last week, and I was reading a bunch of name of bands. They had written Decide, the word, and I read it as Decide. But as every great metalhead knows, that was actually Deicide, and I did not read it that way, which was decidedly unmetal. And I, my friends, am not beyond making mistakes. That was decidedly not metal to say decide instead of deicide. I gave it up. You know the truth. By the way, I just want you to know, I have not been drinking at all this evening, and I'm going to rectify this now. I know it looks like piss, doesn't it? This is actually Jameson mixed with Pellegrino, a favorite drink of mine, just so you know. So, yeah, we are here. 1st of May, ladies and gentlemen. My birthday's in 14 days. Well, it's on the 15th. Birthdays are fucking metal. I have to say, I have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of support for this show. You know, this was obviously it was an outpouring of what I was saying about the Snyder Cut, you know, and we just turned this into some kind of a monumental fun time here, late night. And to be honest, I don't know if Dave Parker, I will be doing Midnight Metal tomorrow. I don't know if Dave Parker can come back. He's getting his second vaccine shot. He's worried. He thinks he's going to feel bad. And I'm like, it is not metal to feel bad. You should come on anyway. What is going to make you feel better than drinking or smoking a bowl or doing whatever you do as you get metal after midnight? And anyway, you people seem to like this show. And I cannot feel better about the fact that you like this show, which is good because why shouldn't you? This is a show we're just going to hang out and get metal, yeah. You know, actually, people have written me letters, man. There are people writing letters to Midnight Metal. Fuck yeah! Zan187 sent a sticker, a super sticker. I love it. It's a smiley face with Ray-Bans on. That is decidedly metal. Yeah. I got letters, man. I got letters from people who wrote into Midnight Metal. You know what? Letter writing, fucking metal. It totally is metal. And I'm going to read a letter. I'm going to start out by reading a letter because it's a good topic. This one comes from Pasty Copper Top. And you know what a copper top is, don't you? It's made out of copper. So say it with me. Fucking metal. Yeah. Okay, so Pasty Copper Top writes, RMB, your new show, Midnight Metal, is fun and entertaining. I mean, sparking up the hippie lettuce, getting inebriated over the course of a show, that is metal. Unfortunately, I must admit, Rob, I consider myself a bit more rock and roll rather than metal. Metal is rock and roll. It is rock and roll. Please forgive me. Episode 9 with John Suntress, you discussed James Bond and his future on the big screen. Being a James Bond fan, I believe you guys may be right, and James Bond's future might be fading as he is a character of the Cold War. James Bond reminds me of Captain America's run in the comics as a man out of time. What I would love to see is future films taking place in the 50s and 60s, maybe even lose most of the gadgets and use the books as a guide. I don't want the original movies redone because they're classic and don't need to be messed with, but taking James Bond back to being a spy rather than an action hero would be great. If you're wondering or care, I do fucking care. My favorite movies are, in no particular order, From Russia with Love, one of my favorites too, closest to the Fleming novel, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, no more needs to be said, Living Daylights, and Casino Royale. Good choices. My dad was able to see Dr. No in 1962 in England when he was in the service. That was cool. Not only was it cool, Kevin, it was fucking metal. Your dad was there at Ground Zero when James Bond came out. Dr. No in 1962. Yes. By the way, there's a cool doc about George Lazenby on Hulu called Becoming Bond, and it is great. Watch it. That guy got a lot of tail. George Lazenby was metal. Now his life was metal. Thanks again, R&B, and keep up the great work. Well, I will keep up the great work, and I want to thank you, Pasty Coppertop. Pasty Coppertop, you are metal. You are anointed metal god. So thanks. You guys can write into me at the Burnettwork.net website. It's free of charge. I'll read your shit. Just put in the subject line, Midnight Metal, or I want to get fucking metal, or I am fucking metal. Whatever you want to say. Just make sure you are saying it is, in fact, metal. You know what? Josh Crichton writes in and just says, Dear Robert Meyer Burnett, please share this with Dave Parker so it's Midnight Metal Plus. You'll dig it as well. I don't know what this is. I didn't look at it beforehand. The Who, Sad But True. Ooh, it's an official music video, Sad But True by The Who. The H.U. Who. I'm going to put this on. I'm assuming it's metal. Rogue Thinker says it is tomorrow. It is tomorrow, by God. First of all, here you go. Put this in. There you go. First of all, I want to thank you. Ooh, this is already the most metal shit ever. It looks like arcade. Oh, actually, that's an ad for Final Fantasy. Never mind. Josh Crichton, thank you for writing in. I very much appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time. Every time somebody writes me a letter, I'm like, oh, that was nice. They sent me in something for Midnight Metal. James Bond, I got to talk about this, okay? I love James Bond. I love me my Bond. You know I do. A lot of people think that Bond should go back to its roots, remake the books as period pieces. I just don't think that you can, unfortunately. I don't think you can do it. I don't think the movie-going audience would put up with it. I just don't think. I don't think it's gonna work. To be honest, I don't think it's gonna work. What can I say? Why go back? Always move forward. That's what I would say. Moving forward is the best thing. I think that's the way to go. I honestly don't know if it's right to go back in time, unless you're like Huey Lewis. I mean, you could do period pieces, but they would have to be, by definition, the Bond franchise began as spy thrillers. Dr. No is pretty, you look at it, it's fairly quaint. From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and Thunderball get bigger, but if you went back in time, you'd have to be like some naturalistic. Bond movies have got to be wish fulfillment. If you went back in time to the 50s and 60s, I mean, I think if you played it straight, it would be like an anachronism. Look, I would love to see Bond going around solving the world's problems and betting beautiful women, but as M said in 1995's GoldenEye was 95, and what did she say? What did M say to Bond in 1995? You're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur, a relic of the Cold War. That's exactly what he is, and he is that way. And nowadays, I mean, I just don't think that I just don't know if it would play. I mean, you can't even get kids to watch the original Bond movies. If you went back and set a Bond movie in the 50s, would anybody watch it? I don't know. They might. I don't know if they would, but they might. You never know. Let me see. Twin Flicks sent in a tip. Says, did you hear? Of course you did. What am I asking? Arrow is releasing True Romance on 4K UHD in the UK in July. Diabolic Alrighty has pre-orders up, and Zavi will next week. Very cool news. Twin Flicks. Come on, man. I have ordered the 4K True Romance from Arrow directly, and I also ordered it from Zavi because why? They have a different, much cooler cover on their Steelbook, and yes, you can order it. Twin Flicks also said, bro, buddy, good pal of mine, please tell me, where did you get that V shirt? I need that in my life now. For those astute viewers, and Twin Flicks, you are one. I got this V shirt. By the way, when you say V like fucking V, you know what I mean? Not that V. It's not victory. It's not, whatever you want to use these two fingers for. I'm not going to say what you should use them for, but as long as you a little bit of this, push a little forward, whatever. Do what you want. This is from V, the TV miniseries V. This was the insignia of the Visitors. It was the space swastika from the 1983 miniseries V and its follow-up, which I think was 84. V, The Final Battle, starring, of course, Mark Singer, Beastmaster himself, Robert Englund, Jane Badler as Diana. Dirty Diana, if you're a Michael Jackson fan. So where'd I get the V shirt? Okay, you know what? I found a guy. I want to say it was on Etsy or someplace. No, it might have been. You know what? I think it was on TeePublic. And he had a bunch of great shirts, really obscure sci-fi stuff. And I was like, I saw this. I'm like, bruh, that shirt is metal. I have to buy that. Hell yeah, I do. So there you go. Midnight's Edge After Dark is here. Is that Tom? Tom has been on the show. Maybe he'll come on the show later, Tom. Fucking metal. Midnight's After Dark sends in a super chat. And it is fucking metal. And you spelled it like Phuket. Yeah, with the P. I got one, Zan 187. Steven Lambriotis. Is it Briodes? Briodes? Steven sends in a super chat. Thank you, Steven. You, sir, are metal. Lambriotis? Is it Briodes or Briodes? Briodes? Great last name. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but it's fucking metal. You know what was metal? If you didn't remember, there's me sitting with George R.R. Martin at the San Diego Comic-Con with Melinda Snodgrass, writer of Measure of Man right there. I'm explaining to George R.R. Martin, clearly dressed in cargo pants. I mean, what kind of a white boy am I? So white in this picture. But there I am, George R.R. Martin. That's metal. I just, randomly once cut to talk about name dropping. I picture drop all the celebs I know, hanging out with George R.R. Martin. What more can I say? So if you guys are following the news, there is a big report that is going to be released, an intelligence report about UFOs. Not kidding. A big release of UFOs. Cash Kester has he just became an imagination connoisseur par excellence. Cash, thank you. By the way, I would like to remind you, as a new member of the channel, tomorrow, for you members, just join. You can support the channel for as low as $1 a month if you want. You can become a member. Tomorrow is one of our bi-weekly Zoom calls. That's right. The last one lasted for 6.5 hours, and I don't think I'm going to do it for 6.5 hours. But as a member, you can join in on our exclusive Zoom calls, and you're going to you feel the love, feel the fun. You get to see everybody face to face, like that Susie and the Banshees song. And I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. It's always good to see you guys. I appreciate everyone supporting the channel the way you do. It's my way of giving back. We have a good time. We chat. We talk. Bring your A game. And you don't even have to bring liquor, although you could. It helps. But it's a great time. It's had by all. That's tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Insomatic became an Imagination Connoisseur member, too. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining the channel. Babu Magugu. Babu Magugu, is that like Kajagugu but different? Babu Magugu says, I'd love to see an old man Mad Max with Mel Gibson. Bruh. How great would that be? I mean, I just love the fact that George Miller is making Furiosa we're getting a 5th Mad Max movie. I mean, it's going to be a spinoff. Mad Max isn't in it. I think that is a capital idea. Midnight's Edge After Dark became a member of this channel. Wow, I'm just racking up the memberships. I want to thank you guys. Hope you can come tomorrow. Remember, we have these Zoom calls. They are fun. They're fun. A little bit of a sausage fest, though, to be honest. I've been on this channel for like 2.5 years almost. And let's find out. Would you like to find out the ratio of people that watch this channel? In terms of, this always cracks me up. In terms of the women to men ratio, the male to female ratio of this channel. When I started out, it was like 99% dudes. So we're going to look now. We're going to find out the analytics for the audience. All right, we're not doing so bad. Not doing bad. 91.7% of the audience of this channel is male. Females are at the highest they've ever been at 8.3%. That's like, that's like being it's like I joined the Night's Watch, and there's only Gilly. There's only Gilly, before she gets moved to the whorehouse in season 4. That's a Game of Thrones reference for you. I can't help it. Elizabeth and I are watching Game of Thrones again, thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, it's kind of like watching a car crash in slow motion. It's just fantastic. You're watching, I don't know, McLaren driving down the street at full speed. It's amazing. You watch it go by, you watch it go by, you watch it go by, and then it's going to crash. It's kind of like that, but it's still pretty good. But the bell curve of my audience has stayed the same. Although, do you know that ages 13 to 17 make up 1.1% of my audience, and 65 and older make up 1.7%? I mean, if you look at this here, if you look at YouTube analytics, here's a graphic for the age group right there. If you look at it as a bell curve, it's almost a perfect bell curve. Like when you're young, you might not get this channel. As you grow older, you get it, and by the time you're by the time you're between 35 and 44, you're my peak audience, and then you just taper off, and it's kind of going to be like my entire life, I'm sure. But I'm happy to have all of you here. Baba Magugu became a member. Why, thank you for becoming a member, guys. Everyone's becoming members. Does that mean you're all going to be at tomorrow's midnight? I mean, not midnight. It's noon. It's our nooner. It's our nooner Zoom chat for members. Join us. Kenneth83DK sends in a super chat and says, "It's morning metal time. It's morning metal time in Europe. Couldn't old school Bond work as the Russians are slowly becoming the standard villain once again in entertainment?" Yeah, they're becoming the standard villains again in the world. I mean, I don't understand. Here's the thing. Don Winslow, one of my favorite writers of California noir. They're making a lot of his books into movies. Oliver Stone's movie Savages was a Don Winslow book. One of the books that I love, the first book I ever read written by Don Winslow, was California Fire and Life. And it had the Russian mafia in it. And at the time, I was before I was married, but I had married a Ukrainian whose mother was, my former mother-in-law was, in fact, the girlfriend of a big Russian mafioso in Brighton Beach. And she was in this book. My mother-in-law was in this book called Red Mafia. But what was really interesting about the Russian mafia, what they found out is when they first came over here when the wall fell, the Russian mafia was always pulling some bad shit. They were pulling scams, insurance scams, and all that. And then they finally figured out, not that the Russian mafia is not still into bad shit, but what the Russian mafia finally figured out, because they didn't understand it when they first came over here, was that there is way more money to be made in screwing over people legitimately than in trying to pull scams. I feel that way about the Russian government. It's like, guys, what? I know you want to restore Mother Russia to greatness or whatever, but what? The planet's a little small now. The economy is a little small. Why don't we team up and be in space together and all that? What's going on? Didn't you watch the second season finale of For All Mankind? Apollo Soyuz link up in '83. They shake hands. They save the world. Why between China? Anyway, I was going to talk about this UFO report. So this is true, by the way. There's a huge. Let me look it up and see. UFO report released. Okay, here it is. Here's an article. This is from Inverse. Now, this article is true, and if you look recently, there is a lot of chatter. I think Gil Bavel will like this. There's a lot of chatter about UFOs and this upcoming report, this official government report about UFOs. So this was published an inverse in March. Why is the Pentagon releasing a UFO report anyway? The truth may soon be out there. People anticipating the release of the upcoming government report on unidentified aerial phenomena, which is UAF or UAP, pardon me, have even more reason to rejoice. Former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe said in an interview that the report would contain information on difficult-to-explain sightings. In an interview this month with Fox News, Ratcliffe said, "We are talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery." Satellite imagery have been picking these up. That frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain, movements that are hard to replicate, and we don't have the technology for, or are traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. The Pentagon report is set to be released on June 1st. As conversations about UFO sightings swarm the internet, Inverse breaks down what to expect from the upcoming report and how to separate fact from fiction. What is this UFO report going to show? Number 5. In December 2020, the government enacted an Intelligence Authorization Act, which called for the release of an unclassified and all sources report on unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, the official military term used for unidentified flying objects. The act was included in the mammoth appropriations bill that also included financial aid checks for people living with economic fallout from COVID-19. The report will include a thorough analysis of available data, intelligence reporting on UAPs. It will be presented to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committee on UAPs. Sarah Scholes, science journalist and author of the book They're Already Here on UFO Culture, says that it remains unclear how much of the report will be made public. A large portion of it is supposed to be unclassified, but that doesn't mean necessarily that we'll get to see it, Scholes tells Inverse. Its mandate is essentially to lay out what we know and don't know about unidentified aerial phenomenon, specifically around military installations. The report may also lay the groundwork for figuring out what to do with the information that has been released and provide a way to systemize information that may be available in the future. So it's very interesting. There's lots of chatter about UFOs if you look in the news right in front of us. There was a guy, and I forget his name, that used to be the head of this investigative body that was looking into UFOs and said flat out that the information and all the evidence that has been gathered is a lot. And he said if it happens to be, say, the Russians or the Chinese, the fact that there is technology out there that we can't explain, and if it turns out if it's Russian or Chinese in origin, that it's the biggest intelligence failure since 9/11, that we haven't been able to figure that shit out, or somebody is way ahead of us. So this stuff, they've got so much information. We've seen the cameras from fighter craft and all that. I was watching some footage today that I actually hadn't seen of a triangular-shaped craft. It was amazing. Again, fighter craft camera footage. I can only say this. They can't come soon enough. Where are our alien overlords? I mean, how metal would that be? Giant Independence Day sized spaceships, or V, little V action, because at least, I mean, if you hook up with an alien, I mean, they're wearing like these skin suits, so you don't necessarily know that if Jane Badler shows up in her red and black outfit looking all hot, you might intellectually know it's really a lizard underneath the skin, but maybe you could get a little action before you have to realize that she probably either wants to eat you or steal your water. I mean, but we always talk on Robservations about how far would you go? Like if you could make it with an alien, like we know from the movie Aliens that it doesn't matter if it's Arcturian, baby. We know from episodes of Star Trek, like for instance, By Any Other Name, Kalinda, who's one of the hottest women like ever to be on television. Kalinda is actually like a tentacled creature from the Andromeda Galaxy that's actually taken human form, and she doesn't quite understand the mystique around the biological activity of sex. So Kirk takes her to bed and shows her what's up. The question is, if you knew that the hottest woman you've ever seen is not really a hot woman at all, but actually a tentacled creature from Andromeda that had only taken human form, would you go down on her? Would you put parts of your anatomy inside of her? What if she changed back into what she really looked like in the middle of the act? Would you continue on? I mean, I always come down to the litmus test is, let's say you met an intelligent xenomorph, and you know what that prehensile tail, come on, that tail, that tail could do to you. Would you make it with a xenomorph? That has been the ongoing question. We've been talking about that for years. How far would you go? How far away from a humanoid creature could you go? Like, I don't know. What is the answer? I don't know what the answer is. Every person's different. Like, obviously, Sarek, Spock's father, was able to look beyond. He was not specious because he's like, hey, man, I found a beautiful human woman that I'm going to mate with, for life until she passes away, because my life expectancy is way longer. But, it worked out, and they were able to engineer, have Spock, and it all worked out. So that's okay, but how far would you go? That's the question tonight. That's the metal question of the evening. How far would you go with an alien? Would they have to look humanoid, or could you get it on with a shapeshifter like Meyer from Space 1999? I mean, she's humanoid, but what if there was a hideously disgusting Cthulhu-like alien that could transform themselves into whatever your perfect, if you're a male or female, whatever your perfect person is, but you know that underneath they're really this gigantic, hard to look at, tentacled, slimy alien creature. Like, could you go there with that person if they transform themselves into your dream person? Could you do it? Could you do it? I don't know. I think it'd be tough. It'd be hard. I mean, or maybe it wouldn't be hard, so that's why you couldn't do it. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't know what to say. I can't make that decision for you, but how far would you go? Could you bed an alien xenomorph? There's people on this planet that, after all, I mean, where do we get herpes from? Sheep? So there's got to be some dudes that are like, yeah, I could go there. I don't think I could. Xenomorphs, predators, because we saw from Alien versus Predator Requiem that predators are just like, there's some workaday dude. So predators are like workaday people. The predators that we know we only have met. I mean, imagine if you'd only met human beings that are hunting on the weekends. That's basically what we've seen of the predator society. We get a glimpse of it in Alien versus Predator Requiem. But I mean, think about it. Are there predator sitcoms? I've talked about this before. Like, is there the I Love Lucy on the Predator homeworld? There's got to be something. And I mean, do predators' dreadlocks, are their hair contained in those things? I mean, it's not their real hair. It's like clearly some kind of thing they wear. But like, are there redheads? Is like there Lucille Ball in the Predator homeworld? Do they have movies? Is there like a Back to the Future on the Predator homeworld, so predators contemplate what it'd be like to travel through time? I don't know. These are the questions I ponder, because it's fucking metal tonight. It's metal. These are the things you got to talk about. You got to think about. You got to wonder about. I don't know. Here, I like what the V Ramphia says. It's all about your sexual taste, and if it turns you on or off, you can fuck whatever turns you on. That's true. I mean, you can, if that's what you want to do. I suppose. I mean, you just never know. I'd like to bring my A game, though. I'd want to know. I think it'd be tough. I don't know. I don't know what anyone's saying. But anyway, this UFO report, June 1st, there's a lot going on. We'll see what happens. And this is all true. You can read this article. It's very interesting. And there's some video there, too. We've seen a lot of that. If you're in UFO, I've been reading about the protoculture babe from across, says Scotty Taylor. Yes. The Zentradi. There you go. Put that in if you want to read that article. So, DL says, I would be busting nuts all over the galaxy, but if I had my choice of aliens, it would be ScarJo from Under the Skin. Ooh, good choice. Have any of you seen Under the Skin, based on the book by Michael Faber that I have right up there? ScarJo's got some, I mean, I know she's an alien, but she goes full frontal in Under the Skin, but she's, of course, an alien. Under the Skin is one of my favorite science fiction films of the last 20 years. It's amazing. Love it. Although it's kind of sad. I do love that film a great deal. It makes a great double bill with Liquid Sky. If you have never seen Liquid Sky, check it out. So, I got to read this one thing. At the end of the article, it says, number 1, will the UFO report admit there are aliens? Here's what gets tricky. The report has not been released yet, and online alien enthusiasts are already rejoicing that this is the big one where proof of extraterrestrial life will finally be released to the public, but that still may be difficult to prove even if footage showing unidentified flying objects is released to the public. The report will likely not pin down a source for these events. They can't. The language being used by former officials such as Ratcliffe in recent interviews implies a non-U.S. and non-foreign origin for what they're seeing, and what you're left with is not us or them. It's something outside of the Earth. And while many scientists believe that life does exist outside the Earth, they are more than skeptical that this form of extraterrestrial life, assuming that it's intelligent, would drop by our home planet in these unexpected ways. I believe there are plenty of aliens out there, Shostak says. I just don't think that they're trying to tease our top guns. Really interesting. You know what I think? If I was like some alien kid that had great technology, I would find primitive planets like Earth and just joyride. Like Bob Falfa, American Graffiti. You know, you play with the military, you fly around, you abduct a few people. It's all in good fun. It's harmless alien teenage pranks. You know, they're like, hey, you know, we anally probe a few people, we send them back on their way, we give them a glimpse of us, you know, and then they're fucking with us. Just for fun. Why not? I would. I mean, it's like the same thing. We only believe because of our pop culture that aliens are either like some kind of benevolent super force or they're evil. But what if aliens are just like us? They've got, you know, Gen X kids and everything. Every time you see a UFO or a report, they're just taking Insta photos for whatever the Instagram version of it is on their homeworld. That's all they're doing. And that Earth is like a joke on some alien Instagram feed. That's all it is. I mean, think about it. Could be that way. You don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Could be. Who knows? I don't know. Just saying. So, DL, it's funny. You'd be busting nuts all over the galaxy. You know, though, that's a long way to travel. Not even in the Star Trek universe. You couldn't go all over the galaxy. You can be in the Alpha Quadrant and the Beta Quadrant. But if you're going to go to the Delta or Gamma Quadrants, that's a long way to go. 75 years it was to take the Voyager to get back here like at high warp. So you're going to be busting nuts in the neighborhood. Probably you won't even get to Mars. But I'm just saying, I assume in your fantasy life, when you're going to bust nuts all over the galaxy, you can travel around the galaxy everywhere you want to go, which is great because that means your fantasies are that much more active. I ask you, when you're fantasizing about the alien life, you want to bust nuts all over, what kind of creatures? Do you want somebody tentacled? Do you want, like, Eccentrica Golumbits, the triple-breasted whore from Eroticon 6 from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Or, you know, the Total Recall girl? What do you envision? Like, what kind of an alien do you want? Paint me a picture. I want to know. Yeah, Austin Hale says, imagine aliens are getting high and are like, Dave, watch me send this light and fuck with the humans. I totally think that's what it is, because why not? We deserve it. Don't we? Fuck yeah, we do. You know why? Because aliens are metal. They're metal. Aliens are metal. So, you know what else is metal? The hot toy of the new Captain America. Sam Wilson's Captain America. I'm going to buy that hot toy figure. Have y'all seen it? It's very cool. I think the wings even do that shield thing. Very excited to talk about it. All good. So, you know, it's funny. It's not having a guest on this show is, I got to say, it's not as fun. I mean, the first show I was a little buzzed. Like I have to say I wasn't buzzed when I started. I've only been drinking since I started, and it takes a while to work up a buzz, especially when you're diluting it with water. So the question that I have to you is, should I throw it open to the crowd, see who shows up? I've been talking for like 35 minutes. I wonder if anyone out there will. I'm sure. Listen, if you got a good camera, you got a good mic, you want to come on the show, you want to get fucking metal, you want to tell me. Here's the question. I bring you on the show. You got to tell me, what kind of an alien do you want to fuck? You got to tell me, like, pick an alien. I don't care. I want you to answer the question. How far would you go? You want to come on the show? You're going to have an answer for me, all right? I want you to pick an alien. I mean, she can be a beautiful girl. You can be your favorite anime character. I don't care. How far would you go? Would you go, like, would they have to be humanoid looking? Like, could you fuck, like, a giant alien crystal spider? What if she did things to you like no human woman would do? I mean, how far would you go? I want to know. This is the question for tonight. We're going to get metal. That's metal. I mean, what is more metal than fucking an alien to the strains of a heavy metal song? I don't know. You're going to have to tell me. But DL comes back and says, Lilu Dallas, The Fifth Element, I'd leave a gallon for. That is fantastic. By the way, I mean, The Fifth Element, what is The Fifth Element's love, right? I mean, that is Mila Jovovich. Good answer. That's what I'm talking about. I want, if you're going to go that way, and that is a fine, well-considered answer. I want to thank you for that. Good answer. And so congratulations. You've impressed me. All right. So I've got it. If you want to come on, if you're ready to go, what would R&B fuck? It says T. Orlando Pearson. Well, I told you. I mean, I couldn't go on. I couldn't go with a xenomorph, to be honest. Maybe a Gigi Edgley in Farscape. That's not bad. I'll tell you what I'll tell you the companion from the Star Trek episode Metamorphosis, the light creature that's in love with Zephyr Cochrane. I will bet you that even though she's like a flickering energy field, I'll bet like being inside of her. I mean, you literally have to step inside of her, but I bet that's pretty incredible. I would go there. I would go for the companion. I would do that, and that's a truly alien being. So, so we'll see. The dead DC says, "Damn, I'll fuck a female predator. I just don't think about the face." Yeah, but dude, what do you gotta make sure. Look, let me add something to this. No. It's like what I used to say when I was in college. You'd always hear the frat boys talking about who they wanted to fuck, and I'm like, hey man, the real question is not who you want to fuck. The real question is, are the girls that you've been with gonna tell their friends how good of a fuck you are? Don't be talking like you're going to stick your dick in an alien and walk away. Here's what I want. If we're going to have this conversation, you have to tell me how you're going to pleasure an alien. Like, it's not enough to just do it. You need to make your alien companion come first. That's what's got to happen. Otherwise, look, ladies first, or if your partners aren't ladies and they're men, I don't care. The important thing, you always got to make sure that your partner achieves the big O before you do, or simultaneously, but that way you always walk away and people think highly of you because they're like, you know what? Oh, Mus Hussein comes up with Matilda May and Life Force. She can drain my life essence any day. That, my friend, is a great answer. And by the way, we, Elizabeth and I, the ace, the arbiter of cinematic excellence and the enchantress of entertainment, reviewed Life Force on Whining About Movies. Go check out that. And you're right. I mean, that movie really is all about fucking an alien space vampire. I mean, what's Harry Nice Guy said, would Kama Sutra from Star Trek Picard an option? I don't know. Nothing from Star Trek Picard interests me, but if that's what you want, who am I to say no? The Islamic says, what have I walked into? Laugh out loud. We're having a conversation late night as we only can. The question is, to all of you out there right now, all 178 of you watching the show right now, if you could fuck an alien, would you? What kind of an alien would you go with? And could you go as far as sleeping with a xenomorph? Or would it have to be, say, a beautiful humanoid? I don't know the answer to this question, but I'll tell you what I am going to do to find out, to liven this up. We'll see. I am dropping a right into the chat right now. You want to get metal? There's a link. By the way, there's a delay here. So if you think you're going to drop trow and show us your junk, you're not going to do that. You can't do that. I'm going to make sure you don't. This is an intellectual conversation. If you're going to get metal, get metal. A spectator sends in a super chat and says, tell me everything is going to be okay, Rob. A spectator, I can't. It isn't going to be okay. It isn't. But here's the thing. What you can count on is it's going to be the way it's going to be. Sometimes it's going to be better than okay. Sometimes it's going to be great. Sometimes it's going to be the best time of your life. Other times it won't be. But the thing is, what's great is it's always changing. So things might get really bad now. But then next week, they'll be totally different. You just never know. So what I can tell you is that it's always going to be interesting. And it's always going to be something that's memorable. How memorable that is, I don't even know. Oh, my good friend Xevious is here. One of my favorite artists. Oh, my God. Uh-oh. Do you have headphones, sir? Hang on. You can't hear me. Xevious. Do you have headphones? Because I can hear myself echoing. I'm going to bring you on. Are you ready to talk about who you're going to fuck? Oh my God. Well, I don't want to get in trouble, but hang on. Hang on. They can't hear what you're saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you on, and you're going to. I think this is going to be quite interesting. I'm going to add you to the chat here, and this is our friend Xevious, who's an incredible artist. He did the logo for Midnight Metal. Hopefully, you'll add Dave Parker one day. And I'm putting you on. Hang on. Let me drop you into the. Make you look good, put you in here with me, and he's going to be in with me. Hang on. So now I don't want you to reveal names. Okay, you can't. No names. Okay, because you were about to say names. And I was going to be like, this is about aliens. It's speculative. So I don't want anybody to, I don't want anyone to feel bad about this. So here comes Xevious. Here we go, sir. All right. Welcome to you've been here before. Your second appearance on Midnight Metal.
Yes. Thank you. It's nice to be back.
Well, fun. It's good to have you here, sir. So let me tell you, man, you know the question. How far would you go if, alien craft land and you had you can have for unlawful carnal knowledge. That was an album title, was a Van Halen album title. Would you go there, and how far? Like, if you had a vaguely humanoid-looking woman, somebody, or a xenomorph, or a human woman that looked human but was actually a hideous alien, how far? Where do you draw the line?
Okay, I want to say first, I sort of feel in the chat here, and this has been going on for about a year in your community.
Talking about the same question.
Yeah, for the same question, it would be Lilu Dallas all day, every day, forever. That's the best alien crazy. And remember, she was grown from like the cellular cluster of that.
She was grown, but don't you think that's kind of a cop out? Like, I mean, an alien who's a hot chick that looks like Mila Jovovich, who isn't going to go there? Like, there's no question.
Right.
And she's the fifth element. She's like the physical embodiment of love. So this is not something that's very difficult to like contemplate.
No, not really.
So I like no one. I mean, I think all the girls I know would hook up with her if they were gay or not, because she's the fifth element. So when you say Lilo, it's a good choice, and Matilda May too, even though she's a space vampire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at her walk around; she's naked the whole movie. Who wouldn't go there?
That's right.
But that's not that's not transgressive, man. That is not metal.
No, it's not very metal.
It's not very metal. I want you to tell me how far out on the spectrum would you go in terms of an alien? Like, what if you found?
Okay.
Yeah, please, come on.
Okay, I got you. So you've seen some of my art. Some of these guys know what I do.
Yeah, it's great.
But,
by the way, if you want to see some of your art, I just want to show everybody. Look at this. This is some of his art right there. And I know it's me. I know. I'm just saying, it's some of his art. He's pretty fucking good. Just saying. Look at that. Stonehenge. I mean, the 3-foot tall Stonehenge.
See? Subtle. But I've been a H.R. Giger fan since I was about 5-6 years old. Because, I saw pre-production things. Same as you, Starlog Magazine, all that.
Wow, man.
So I've known what he does. And all that stuff is so inherently sexual.
Oh, dude.
From, yeah. So
that's what made me want to fuck an alien.
That's right. So I think I'd go there, if it was a Giger, trying to keep my language kind of tidy here. But if there's a labial creature with something, and I don't know, I think I'd be in. It'd be a good story. I could come on your show and tell you about it.
Oh, you would be in.
Yeah, I'd do that.
But that's a really good point. So Giger-esque, biomechanical, his artwork is amazing, but he does have, and of course he designed the alien. It does drip with a dark sexuality to it. And he does have very feminine, there's something, the alien is depicted in Alien. There's not a whole lot that's really appealing there. Unless, as Xenomorph. However, other of Giger's work is there's a lot of really, the same way that like that hot bald Cenobite from the first Hellraiser.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh my God.
I understand that she might have skin flaps hanging and bleeding from her. She's literally flayed or whatever and tightened. But I'd go there. She might tear your soul apart, but you'd go there, right?
The cheekbones, the jaw on that chick. I saw that in grade 10 with my girlfriend at the time, and we cosplayed that a couple years later, and she did full latex head to toe.
Oh man, and now see, when I see her, I'm like, okay, I might have to open the lament configuration and step through the go see the Leviathan and go to hell. But she's got that cool metal that's piercing her face and all that, and I'm like, that woman would do the things to you want her to do that you're afraid to ask normal girls to do. So I'm with you there. I would. She's not an alien, but she's from the Stygian depths of hell. I'd go there. I think you're right.
Absolutely.
Hellraiser. So who else?
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you cautioned me, because we all have IMDb, but there's a chick in one of the Mass Effects. I'll be vague.
Oh,
The voice actress. There's a sex thing, and I did get to go there. It's about a decade or so ago.
wow! You slept with a girl that was in Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Wow!
Which is so cool.
Did she bring down the Mass Effect on you?
It was wonderful.
Wow!
But this is before, and she didn't tell me that she was on that game. So I was alone, girlfriend's in bed, playing Xbox at 4:00 in the morning, and then I saw it. I'm like, I know that voice, and then I went back and looked at the credits. I was like, aha, I know her. I know her well.
Nice.
That's kind of metal, right?
That is, dude. That's so fucking metal.
Okay,
So Sean O'Brien sends in a super chat and he goes, "It's got to be Jadzia Dax." Okay, again, I would say Terry Farrell, one of the most beautiful women to be on TV. Back to school, if you saw it, who wouldn't go there? The real question is, when you say Dax, let's see, Sean, how far you'd go. You know that the Dax symbiote has been in both men and women. My question to you is, would you fuck Curzon Dax? Anybody can fuck Jadzia or Ezri Dax, but could you fuck Curzon, the old man? It's just flesh, right? Come on, like, how far are you gonna go? You're gonna walk on the wild side? What are you gonna do? When people say Jadzia Dax, who wouldn't? I want to know. I want to know how transgressive you're gonna get, Sean. But I'm with you, Jadzia Dax. Yes. Paul Gilmore says, so Rob, what about all the warnings we have in movies when someone has sex with an alien and it never ends well? It's human prejudice, man. Human prejudice. We are a xenophobic people. We don't want to broaden our horizons. We just like Natasha Henstridge in Species. Hey, maybe the byproduct is a little problematic. I understand, but it's Natasha Henstridge. Come on. It's not her fault. It's not her fault she is what she is. Or Marilyn Chambers in Rabbit. I was talking about her on my show the other day. Like, she's got her little stinger, so she's going to infect Toronto with her blood and turn you rabid. But she is Marilyn Chambers. She was in Behind the Green Door. It could be good, even though she's a vampire chick with a weird protrusion under her arm that, you get rabies after. It's not good, but anyway, I can understand that. Mega Reacts. Ooh, I like this answer. Mega Reacts sends in a super chat and says, I would hook up with a founder from Deep Space Nine. They can literally be metal. I'll tell you why that is a great answer, Mega Reacts, because the head founder was played by Salome Jens, who is actually a beautiful woman. She starred with Rock Hudson in the John Frankenheimer science fiction film in the 60s, one of my favorite movies, actually, Seconds. So Salome Jens, and by the way, they can do whatever you wanted them to do. If anybody could rock your world, the founder could. They're shapeshifters. They could be whatever you want. Tom Jr. Jackson sends in a tip and says, Rob, enjoying the Art Bell feel to the show tonight, hanging out with my metal Zoom crew, Catherine, Black Phillip, and Tony. What's your name? Tony. You know that meme? Keeping the metal alive like Johnny Five. Well, you know, we're going to have people come on, so I guess you should. Tom Jr. Jackson was actually on Robservations the other day. So Zevius, should we get someone else to come on the show?
That'd be awesome. You got somebody lined up?
I do.
Awesome.
I've got S Beam, the man who is making Hot Toys figures. Oh, look at that action figure. Hey, S Beam, you ready to come on the show? You're out of sync, which I don't understand, but I'm going to put you on the show. I like your action figures in the background. You haven't been on the show before, have you? You have not. Well, are you ready to talk about what aliens you would fuck? Fuck yeah, there you go. All right, that's fucking metal, dude. All right, I'm going to put you on the show. Hang on. It's gonna take just a moment. I'm going to add you in. This is S Beam. Ladies and gentlemen, S Beam. He is actually making a Hot Toy-esque action figure of both myself and John Campion. Now, S Beam, I don't know why, but you're way out of sync. I don't know what that means. Maybe it won't be out of sync, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gentlemen, kind souls from across the 28 known galaxies, S Beam is going to join this conversation and tell us, what alien would you sleep with? Welcome to S Beam.
Well, I probably wouldn't go as far as a xenomorph. That's for sure.
Well,
but
that's fair, and I respect your honesty.
You know, it all depends. I mean, are they able to change to human form, or are they able to not be in human form?
So what are you saying? Are you a specious? So
like
you would only sleep with an alien that looks like a human being?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. Okay. I would get down with it just for the pure curiosity. It would just depend on
down
the
with
situation,
it. I think you've misgendered and mispronounced the alien. Get down with it.
I'd be down with fucking an alien if it ever came down to it.
All right, now
I don't know if it's
no, it's cool. But let me ask you this: let's Lilu, Matilda May, and Life Force. If you off the top of your head, a pop culture character, an alien character. What is one that strikes your fancy? If you could have any character could be anybody, the hottest girl. It could be Lilu from Fifth Element. Well, who would it be?
Well, the first one that came to mind, honestly, when I was watching earlier, was Betazoid, Deanna Troi.
All right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. She would rock your world because she could gauge what she was doing to you. If you liked it, she would be able to do more. Good. That's a good answer. I would go there. Yeah, good answer. So are you, I mean, we've never really spoken. We've exchanged pleasantries, but I want to thank you for, making those action figures. They're great. Now, I noticed, I can't not ask you about this. Behind you, I've noticed that you have action figures.
I do.
What might some of them be?
My Marvel's over here. I just got in-game Thanos not too long ago. Red Skull's back there. The Chitauri's behind him. I got Guardians up top above that. And my other Marvel guys is up there. And over here, I have most of my Star Wars stuff.
Nice. Now, do you only collect 6 scale?
Up until recently, I just got the BDS 10th scale Thundercats, 2 of them from Iron Studios.
Nice. Cool. How do you like them?
No, they're great. They look just like the cartoon. So,
see, that's the Thundercats is a little after my time, but I appreciate that everyone likes that stuff, which is great.
Here, let me just grab one real quick.
Well, do that. Grab one. That's a great figure. Look at that. Wow.
Yes.
I have Tigra and Wily Cat and Wily Kit coming next week.
That's cool. That's after my time too, but I'm working on a secret project, and it's from some artists who worked on the Thundercats under Rob Liefeld.
That's awesome.
Wow. That's very cool.
In that zone, it's cool. I've been looking at that a lot lately.
Stubble McShave sends in a tip and says, Rob, speaking of your t-shirt, would you hook up with Diana Jane Badler from V if you knew her true nature? Well, here's the thing. I mean, we all have techniques, and here's why I'd be frustrated. Yes, even if I knew her true nature, but my first inclination would try and be to use my skills as a cunning linguist, because I've developed them over decades and they work. Mm-hmm. And if I got down there and realized, I just don't know what to do. I can't like rock the little man in the boat, It would bother me. I wouldn't be able to, like, if I couldn't, bring it to a climax, I'd feel like I couldn't do the job. And the real question is, some guys don't care. You can do whatever you want. You get off, you're out, you're gone. I don't care. I want to be able to, if I'm going to hook up with an alien, I want that alien creature to go back to her friends or its friends or their friends or whatever you want to call them, and say that alien character, that Rob Burnett, he cared about my needs, and and by the way, that's completely just an ego trip for me. I've never had to hear it. I've never heard it, but I know, and that's what I'd want. I'd want my intergalactic diplomacy to begin with a 45-degree upturned tick of the tongue, and make sure that you go from like 60 beats per minute up to 28 beats per minute and down to the breakdown, kind of like Tiesto spins. And I want to make sure that whatever alien goes home to wherever they're going home, they speak highly of me because I cared for their needs.
That has been my MO from junior high school.
Yeah, man.
I don't know whether it was reading like Kerouac or James Joyce or listening to Cohen, but there's a book of poetry, Love When the Nights Are Long. Is that Cohen? But the idea of women and booze and Tuesday nights at 2 a.m, that's where
Tuesday nights at 2 a.m. Now let me ask you, is a Tuesday night at 2 a.m, is that a continuation of Monday, or is it really Wednesday morning?
It's maybe when you met those girls at the pub and you finally got the deal kind of going.
Yeah, those days were the best. I wonder, are those days over now?
Well, I mean, COVID aside, I'm 48, and my life last year was about the same as it was when I was 14.
Fuck so, yeah! You know what that is? Say it metal. With me now. It's fucking metal, dude.
Metal. Did you not? It's I mean, I've seen enough of how you guys live that sort of. I mean, it's my sort of. I like following Hollywood. I like following journalists, and guys who are in their 40s, their 50s, even their 60s, and it's you play pretty hard at lunch. You play pretty hard after work. 5:30 is, yeah. And
we're madmen.
Here I'm up north, but that's how I live. Love the next long.
Can I just talk about the most exciting news ever? Mm-hmm. So this week on the show, and I had suspected this because I'd seen it around. We finally got confirmation that David Cronenberg, one of my favorite directors, is actually making his new film is Crimes of the Future, which is a script I read 25 years ago. It is so bonkers, and it is the culmination of his whole new flesh philosophy. I cannot wait to see this film, and it's so great. Nice. I don't know what it is about people in Canada, but you guys are all very even keeled. But man, you are kinky fuckers.
Yeah,
there's some kinky shit going on up in Canada. Mm-hmm. We sold Free Enterprise because back in the day, we were in Winnipeg in 1999 showing Free Enterprise, and at the time the mayor of Winnipeg was the first gay mayor in Canada.
Really?
And he was throwing a party, a film festival party. So I was like, we got to stay to the end of the party, because if he's throwing the party, that party's going to rage. It's going to be a great party. And we sold our movie. We sold Free Enterprise to our distributors because we stayed up. By the way, I am dying to make a movie in Winnipeg in the dead of winter.
Yep.
That place is, and I had a project I really wanted to make that I was actually this year I was afforded the opportunity to get close to. It just the person I was dealing with wasn't into it, and it made me see it in a different way. But I would love to make. I really want to make a horror movie in the dead of winter in Winnipeg.
So interesting fact. I was born in Winnipeg now officially, like legally, but it's so cold and so dry. It can be that like the snow is like sand.
Well, that's my favorite thing. When I was in Winnipeg, I saw one of the coolest things I ever saw from a filmmaking point of view. So on the asphalt, the wind would blow, and it would blow the dry, sandy snow, and it looked like this shimmer. I'd never seen anything like this. And I've always I was in the Pacific Northwest, so it's thick, wet snow. I'd never seen dry, granular snow like blow across the asphalt. I'd never seen anything like it. It was like, and there was, and imagine like the asphalt going into infinity, into the darkness, but all you see is this like white blanket of dry, granular snow, which I'd never seen before. And it's fucking freezing cold. But blowing, it's like it looks like the street was alive with a translucent. I'd never seen anything like it. I'm like, I got to put this on film. I mean, my God, this atmosphere. And what if there was somebody walking down that street? I'm like, that's what I want to see. What is that like? Would the snow go around their legs? What would that look like? And I'm like, that would be no special effects. I'm like, this shit is dope.
Dude, that's blowing my mind. Like it's. So I was born, and I still. I know your backstory and your family and whatnot. I was raised by adoptive grandparents from zero till about the age of 5 on a farm, and I mean like a grain, wheat, cattle, chicken, you name it, farm, just outside of Winnipeg. So I spent 5 years of my life watching that stuff and train tracks and crazy lights and machinery. I know what that whole vibe feels like and what it looks like. That'd be something
crazy. So S Beam, where are you at?
I'm in Minnesota.
You're
and
Minneapolis.
We get snow like that sometimes. No, a little further south.
I've been to. There's one of my favorite conventions I've ever been to. I've been there twice. It's called Convergence. Although it was great, I've been there. Last time I was there was 2008, but it was one of my favorite fan-run conventions. And I heard that fan politics kind of destroyed the convention, but whatever. I don't know if it's still there or not, but it was great. I loved it. And I got to go to
I see it advertised every once in a while, but
yeah, it was
I haven't
always
gone to any
over
cons here.
It was 4th of July weekend. It was really great. It was totally good. DL sends in a super chat and says, "Only good thing from Alien 3, Xenomorph Ellen Ripley." Or do you mean Alien 4? But Alien 3, I guess so, yeah. I mean, look, anything to do with the alien is psychosexual.
What do you think of Alien 3? That was
I like Alien 3, especially the restored, it's not really a director's cut, but the rough cut that's on the Blu-ray. The extent, I really like it.
Me too.
I really like. I mean, it's David Fincher. It's a whole different vibe. The problem is, it's joyless. I mean,
that's true.
Alien, it's like truck drivers fighting a monster, and you like them because you relate. Aliens, it's a war movie. It's the grunt movie. It's Full Metal Jacket. It's whatever, Apocalypse Now, fighting aliens. So you love that too.
Yep.
Alien 3 is convicts, and there's nothing. It's not fun, but it's like listening to a Cocteau Twins album, or something. I mean, it is the especially the long version that Charlie de Lauzirika restored for the Blu-ray, where they added a lot of stuff back into it and it makes them. I love it. I love the whole. It's like a funeral dirge. Like there's something. It's not fun like Alien 1 and 2 Aliens are, but if you look at it as something I like it. I think it's legit. The theatrical cut's not problematic. But the longer version, there's so much going on there, and you can look at it as it's like a Hieronymus Bosch version of Alien or something. I don't know, but it's certainly worth looking at.
Okay, yeah, so I've got the quadrilogy, the big crazy fold out from about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's Charlie's.
Yep.
Do you have the Blu-ray set or the DVD set?
I don't recall. It's it's one of them. I think they look. I'm not
sure.
Yeah,
the only reason I ask is because the Blu-ray set restores the with Alien 3 in particular. The documentary is fantastic, and with the Blu-ray, there were things that Charlie had to cut out of the documentary on DVD that people thought would be offensive. But if it's from 10 years ago, it's probably the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
and then they actually went back in, which they couldn't do on the DVD. They got the actors back and recorded the audio that was missing. Okay. So the version of Alien 3 is much better, thanks to Charlie. And also the documentary has the stuff that Fox wanted them to cut out, put back in.
Cool. Because what I thought about it is it's a lot of distorted lenses used. And then my trademark, if you will, is like a lot of crazy, like I'll pick a color tone for something, like for an image, and go with that. So if you watch that, there's like this stuff's all green for a while, then this stuff's all orange, this stuff's all yellow, and you don't have a lot of AAA films that actually do that so heavy-handedly, but so well.
Yeah. Concessions before credits sends in a super chat and says, Rob, what do you know the Cary Bates script for Superman 5 featuring Brainiac from 1991? Christopher Reeve was in talks with the Salkinds returning. To be honest, I don't know much about that. It was something, when I was working on Superman Returns, I wanted to do a piece on the Blu-ray about all the aborted versions of Superman that weren't made before Superman Returns, and that was one of them, but I couldn't find much. Like, I have the J.J. Abrams scripted Flyby that McGee was going to direct. I have a lot of stuff about that. A lot of people screen tested for that no one knows they screen tested. I have the videos for it, but I can't release any of that stuff. By the way, don't tell anyone I said that. Shh. Don't. But I do have those things. But I don't know. I don't know much about it. I would like to have seen it. I think one of the great tragedies in life is that Canon Films made Superman 4 that it didn't have Sidney Furie, who was a great director, but then he was directing Iron Eagle and whatever. It's too bad. But whatever. What can you? Simon Gilmore says the Borg Queen. Now that's sexual.
I was going to say that before.
I'd fuck the Borg Queen.
Me too.
I think everybody would.
Alice Krieg.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Again,
and the fact that she comes apart,
yep.
So she could be doing things to you from behind. I'm sorry. What am I saying? I don't know. I while you're inside of her, could be amazing. I mean, I don't know when you're looking at a void where her boobs would be, but little weird.
Be a good story.
I mean, that was like Giger-esque without the sex.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like Data was fully functional.
Yep.
Like she's like, I'm gonna give you skin. I'm like, why don't you take him to bed? Mm-hmm. Like, why don't you rock his world? Why don't you guys? You're both fully functional. What happens when two artificial life forms get together? Like, and your sexual relation would have blown up the Enterprise.
Yep.
Well, maybe it's a deleted scene.
I know. Goddamn right. So listen, gentlemen. Would you mind if I rotated some more people in? I'll bring you back. S-Beam. First of all, I want to thank you for the work you're doing on the figures. They're amazing. So thank you for that. And Xevious, we have to talk.
You're welcome.
We should.
Obviously, we got more to. I owe you money. We got to get back to work, and I've actually rewritten not anything you've already done. But I would like to finish that first 10 pages of what we're working on.
And there's the thing about the thing I told you about this morning, too, which I want to talk about that thing, too.
Yeah, I want to, which I'm dying. Yes, let's talk. That sounds, by the way, congratulations, and that sounds awesome.
Okay.
All right, so, gents, I'm going to let you guys go, but I am going to put, if you haven't been on, and I'm going to put the link. I'm only going to see who's up. We got 187 people here. Let's see who's going to be there. If you got a good stream, a good camera and you've got a good microphone, I'm going to say goodbye to these gentlemen, but I'm going to bring some people new in. So if that's okay with all of you, I will say goodbye to Xevious and S-Beam. Thank you for being here on Midnight Metal. Anybody who wants to come here is the fact that you have the courage to do that. It is incredible. So thank you all for being here. And let's see. Oh, who else is here? Cash. Cash is here. Cash. Oh, I don't see you. Oh, I can hear you. It's like Star Trek 2. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Please help us, Jim. Cash. Well, I can hear you, but I can't see you. I don't know. I cannot see you. Hang on. The dude from Canada. Oh, I can see both of you. Oh, this is going to be good. All right, I'm going to bring you guys. Hang on. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to bring you into Midnight Metal. This is great. I'm loving this. Okay. Gentlemen, hang on. Just give me a minute. I'm going to put you guys in. Put me in, coach. I will put you both in. Hold on a minute. We got Cash and the dude from Canada. The dude from Canada. And this is, hang on. Let me just give me a minute while I put you into the show. And this is fantastic, Cash and the dude from Canada. Because I can't wait. Are you guys ready to tell me what aliens you would fuck? That's what I really want to know. Don't laugh. You think it's funny. This is very serious stuff, man. This is some serious stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. By the way, directed by Vincent. Oh, wait, hang on. Hold that thought, because that is some dope-ass shit you just brought up. Okay, hang on. I got to put Cash in here, too. I'm gonna bring in 3 people. Which hang on. So, well, no, say that live because that's very cool. And you know what? I'm gonna bring in. Hang on. I've got to make. I have to make. I'm sorry because you're vertical, Cash. So I'll bring you in. But okay. So I've got you guys both here. So everyone, we've got two new guests coming. We got Cash and we got the dude from Canada. Welcome them to fucking Midnight Metal. Now, let me just say, gentlemen, it's fucking metal. You guys are here. Are you feeling metal tonight?
Yeah. Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time, yes. Now, the question is, does your metal go as far as fucking an alien? Do you want to fuck an alien?
I'd fuck a trash can.
Well,
wow.
okay. So first of all, let me ask you both, Cash, where are you from? Where are you coming from? Where are you coming to us right now?
I'm from KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. And the dude from Canada, where in Canada are you from?
Canada's capital, Ottawa. Cheers
Ottawa.
to you and Cash.
Well, Cash, dude from Canada, I want to thank you both for joining us on Midnight Metal. Now, I got to ask you both. Let's start with you both. Like, how far, would you go in terms? Well, I'll start with you, Cash. Like, what would it take for you to make love to an alien? Wait, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. What do you think?
Well, no, your question was, how far would I go to a fucking alien?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I would have to. That's fucking hilarious. No. I was just sorry for the different terms of what franchise we're talking about. You're going with Star Trek the whole time.
No. I think anybody. I mean, Star Trek has made the most appealing people, but like I said, if you want to go Hellraiser, that chick in the first Hellraiser movie, I get busy with her.
You did bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
the Fifth Element, Lena,
Luli,
or,
Lilu.
Luli. Fuck.
Lilu, the fifth L. I know, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, that is a good one. But I would also fuck that blue chick, the singer from
Oh,
in
the
Fifth Element.
who was singing on Flossed in Paradise?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
man, you know what? The dude from Canada scores some big points with that
He did.
because
Yeah,
and,
man. Yo, she actually, like, as a kid, as a teenager, she kind of got me more rock hard than Lilu.
that is fantastic. You know what? That is a great answer. And by the way, you can actually watch YouTube videos of like people in foreign countries like singing that song. Singing that, so yeah, like there. If you go on YouTube video, like and go Diva from Fifth Element, and there's like people that are actually, and that's a really hard song to sing. But I'm gonna hand that to you because even though she's got giant tentacles, I am with you. I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
Even the character from Star Wars, I'm Butcher, the Jedi with the green moss tendrils or whatever. That I would fuck her too. No,
this is gonna get so demonetized. I love it.
No, sorry. What's the Jedi character in Star Wars?
You know, I'm trying to think. I got the blue character, but she's a Twi'lek, right? Is she a Twi'lek? I don't know.
I think so.
Twilight, yes.
Yeah. No, but not Fisco though.
No, Kit Fisto. I got. Well, he's a dude.
Yeah.
But not to say anything. I mean, you know. So okay, Cash. What about you? Favorite like who's your favorite like female? If you were like 12 again, and you were gonna put up a big poster on your wall of your favorite hottest alien that you loved, who would it be?
Think about that one for a second.
There are no wrong answers.
By
the way, can I just say this is the greatest episode of Midnight Metal ever? Just saying.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm starstruck, Rob. Like, thank you for adding me, dude.
Come on, man. I want to thank you both for having the courage to come on live. You know, it takes balls to be like, hey, we're going on the internet live, and you guys, it's late night. You decided to do it. I want to thank you. I mean, you know what's great? This is why I do YouTube.
Right.
To meet people,
and I give you that fucking metal credit, man. You are an awesome guy. You reach out to the fans, man. You don't knock anybody. You accept everybody, and that's what makes you fucking awesome, dude.
Well,
I agree with everything he just said.
But everybody's like, here's the thing, like Kansas City, Ottawa. I'm in Pasadena. How fucking cool is it? How fucking metal is it? We live in a world where you and I, the two of you, you've never met me, I've never met you. But here we are, late night, chatting on the internet to the world, if we want to, talking about fucking alien beings. Do we not live in a fucking great world?
We do, man. And
that's why,
Rob, you're fucking awesome. And I'll say this. I discovered you 3 months ago. It was because you were doing. It was you and the UK fellow with the toys.
Oh, Az. Who, by the way, I love Az. Again, somebody I
know he's cool. But it was with Justin. So Justin's Collectibles.
Oh.
Who I was a huge fan of. Didn't know him. Love Justin, and we're doing streams together. It's incredible.
Right. So I have Justin on my, subscriber page and this and that. And then, scrolling. Oh, he's live, but he's got, you and, sorry, who's the UK guy?
Az, heel versus babyface.
Az, right. So it's you, Az, and Justin. And no offense, like, I tune into Justin now and again, but it was you. You grabbed my attention. I'm like, I had no idea about you. And wow, your persona, your voice, the way you carry yourself, it's just fucking awesome, dude.
Well, that's very nice to say.
I love you.
Well, thank you, but the dude from Canada, let me just say, what my whole reason for being on YouTube is to get all of us, to create a community. Mm-hmm. And the fact that, look, 3 months ago you didn't know who I was. Now, on May 1st, the two of you are both here. We're live. We're talking on the internet. And we're talking about fucking aliens, which, let me just say, if I was 12 years old and someone said, hey, Rob, when you get older and you're a middle-aged man about to die with one foot in the grave, you're going to be on live talking to total strangers around the world about fucking aliens, I would have said, that's pretty fucking good. I think that's a good way to be.
Awesome.
I know, right?
Wait. Talking about fucking aliens, if there was a female predator, would you let her blow you?
No.
Oh, dude. Oh, wow.
So many teeth and
like four big prongs.
Just wait till she's like centuries years old, so she can have dentures, take out the dentures.
Well, here's the thing. I would assume like the predators didn't ask to be designed that way. Like, we designed them that way, and I think that Stan Winston Studios, they weren't thinking about procreation. They just wanted an adversary for Arnold. Mm-hmm. But now that we know that they have a life, we've seen their home planet, I would imagine that predators probably have a pretty robust sex life. Like, they probably got it going on. And I would assume that those women can wield their teeth and their tongues. I'll bet they're very skilled, because they would have to learn to work things around their biology, their actual physicality. So even though it would be fucking scary, it'd be scary to be in that position.
Yeah, like how does a male predator, have oral, mouth with a female? Is it?
This is. Yeah. What do you think, Cash? I mean, well, would you do it, Cash?
Suction. It turns into this whole variant, and then you go, I suck on it because I have to use my teeth to also inebriate into it, and
it would be tough.
I'll say the movie Teeth gave me some nightmares.
I know, right? Well, so here's the thing. I mean, I think these are the kind of questions that we need to ponder on Midnight Metal. This is the kind of this is exactly. I want to thank you. The two of you are exactly. You're playing into this. This is perfect. And now you've also given me something to ponder. I'm now torn, because I want to believe that female, if they have interstellar technology and they can go from their home world to Earth, that means they're pretty well developed. And I would think that from a sexual standpoint, they're probably very well developed, because they've been around for a long time. And I'm wondering, I think that if I met the right predator,
that sounds so bad.
I could fall in love, maybe. Maybe if somebody
right predator.
Well, if I could find the right predator, maybe I could learn something. She would certainly be more advanced than me, so she could teach me a lot, and maybe she would know things about sexual pleasure that I didn't know, because the predators are well traveled. They travel from planet to planet. They know the best places to go. So maybe she could show me things that I couldn't find out otherwise.
Actually, Rob, I got a million questions. I could go all night, but I got top of my brain with predators. It's always been on in my brain. Why is it that they need a mask, for different heat signatures, night vision? Why aren't their own eyelid, their pupil, their eyes? They can't see everything. You know what I mean?
Well, I think perhaps. What do you think, Cash?
No, but when a predator takes off his mask, he has shit vision.
Well, that's only That's only on Earth, though. You know, there are many different environments. They go to many different places. It's just like us. I mean, if you think about it, on this planet, most of this planet will kill human beings. Like, if you think about it, if we go 20 feet under the ocean for more than 3 minutes, it will kill most people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you travel up to, say, the top of Mount Everest, you can barely breathe.
Right.
So even our own planet will kill us. So what if on the predator planet, you know, it's kind of like our planet, and they've developed all this great technology like we have to see in the dark or whatever, because and they're also going to all these different planets which have different environments and all. They don't know. So they need their tech. It's like a teenager, like, I need my iPhone. How can I live? You know, something like that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I found it was just weird though. Like a predator's view is like heat vision, night vision, ultravision, whatever. It's not. They're not seeing real flesh, true colors, and stuff like that.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. But I think that's a really good point. You know what I would say though? We've only met like the weekend warrior predators. I mean, they seem formidable to us, but these are just like beer-swilling dudes that are like, well, honey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go hunting this weekend. I'm going. There's this planet called Earth. Can you imagine? I mean, like I've always wanted to see that. Like the predator, like to go hunt. He's just telling his wife, like, I'm going to go, like, you know, Earth. That primitive planet, everyone goes there, and well, honey,
I'm going fishing.
Yeah, honey, if that's where you want to go, I mean, you go there, you go to Earth, just call in. If you get into trouble, give me a ring. I'm telling you, there's an entire world that can be of predator, of sitcoms and comedy shows, and you know, it could be amazing.
Actually, good movies. I don't know. Off the top of my head, just like, hey, can we have a good movie where we actually get Predator versus the I'm drunk. Sorry, Predator versus the alien, and then doesn't involve Zoe Deschanel or whichever one it was.
Zoe Deschanel. I actually want to see that movie.
Actually,
the Predator first.
I just realized it was like, oh yeah, Zoe J. Snell. I meant Zoe Deschanel. The one who's not black.
The Guardians.
Yeah. Which would be you mean Uhura, the Na'vi? Yes.
Right.
The one who's like in a fucking love scrape with fucking Spock for some reason.
I that was not a very good. I understand what they were trying to do. I mean, Zoe Saldana is an amazing actress. She's a very beautiful woman, and she's been blue and green and black. She's amazing. And
yet she's just that racist enough.
I think the problem is, you know what? There's clearly a discrimination against blue aliens, because I loved her in Avatar, and that was a really difficult performance to get. By the way, I would hook up.
Right? Didn't I say I would fuck two different alien colors, blue and green?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, Zoe Saldana in Avatar. There's some deliciousness. Let me just say.
Yo, I'm 5 foot, 2. I love a challenge. I would fuck that Avatar.
You're 5'2"?
Yeah, dude, I'm a short man.
You look like a very large man. I love it. That's fantastic.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
By the way,
they did that well in the Lord of the Rings.
They did. I mean, it was amazing. So let me ask you guys, the dude from Canada, if you were
Rob, I'm Donnie. Call me Donnie.
Oh, Donnie. Well, I can only go. Donnie, it's good to meet you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: the two of you,
Sorry.
you're in a shipwreck. You wash up on a desert island, and you miraculously a home theater system and 5 of the best 4K discs wash up your 5 favorite movies. What might those be?
So like all movies are
All movies of
4K,
all time, like your 5, each of you. I'll start with you, Donnie. Donnie, what are your 5 favorite discs that washed up on the island?
Fuck. Shit.
No wrong answers.
Okay. Well, see, like I feel like I'm on the spot, and I feel I know you are really deep in with film, right?
Yeah, but don't worry about that. I want to know,
Okay,
off the top of your head, what do you love? My real question is, what do you
Shining.
love?
Oh, right, so I
okay.
want The Shining.
Yeah.
I want The Shining.
Kubrick.
I want The Goonies.
Okay.
The Goonies.
All right. Oh fuck. God. Desert Island. All right. The Shining. The Goonies. The Dark Knight.
All right.
Oh God,
Heath Ledger. Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Alien.
Yeah.
And actually, wait, no, I take back Goonies. All right, so Alien, Shining,
Dark Knight, Shining.
Dark Knight. Oh, fuck.
There are no wrong answers. Oh,
I know.
You can wait and think. Let me ask you this, Cash. Cash,
Yes.
give me your washed up on a desert island with a home theater system. Your 5.
I know the question.
What are they?
Can I put a trilogy into one thing?
Yep, I do that all.
what?
That's how I sneak it in. You can absolutely do that. It counts as one.
Lord of the Rings 1, 2, or 3 counts as one.
Yep.
Yes.
So you both go
Back to
Lord of the
the
Rings?
Yes. Back to the Future as well.
Oh, wow, that's
That'll be
6
2.
movies. Very smart of you. All right. Nicely done, Cash.
Snatch, obviously.
All right. Okay. Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, well, no, it's his best movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
So I got 2 more. Dark Knight, I have to say The Dark Knight. I'm not going to put in the trilogy where it's like Batman Begins and all that shit. Just The Dark Knight.
But you could take the trilogy if you want.
I don't want to.
All right.
Because the rest of it's kind of stupid. But, well, it is. But The Dark Knight was an epic thing that happened.
Just
Go
popped
ahead.
in my head. Stand By Me.
Oh, I love that movie. So good. And it's out on 4K, too.
No way. When did that come out?
It came out last year. Last year, yeah. It's out.
Oh,
So,
I love
Cash.
adventure movies. I love,
Oh,
the Goonies, Stand By Me. I love,
They're great.
just adventure stories.
So, wait, hang on. Cash was going to finish out his list.
Sorry.
I was on 4, so my 5th one, my favorite movie of all time is Fight Club.
Nice.
That's my
You
number
know what?
one ever.
I am
all
Jack's
time.
metal YouTube stream. I love.
Yo, I got so many. Actually, you know what's popping in my head right
Fight
now?
Club.
Basketball Diaries.
Oh, that's a great film too. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yo, that is probably my favorite Leo movie of all time.
It's really good.
Okay.
Now I have to say, Fight Club. I love Fight Club. I mean, peak David Fincher. So good.
It's the number one movie of all time.
And speaking of metal, my favorite artist, Trent Rezner.
Oh, dude. And Trent Rezner won an Oscar again
For Social Network.
I mean, but for Soul, he won an Oscar this week for the Disney animated film Soul. That score,
Rob, I'm just knowing this now. He had the score for Soul.
Yep. Him and Atticus Ross wrote the score for Soul with
No
John
way.
Baptiste. Yes.
Well, like I didn't think it because it was Disney, Pixar. I didn't think Atticus and Trent would be doing that stuff.
Dude, further down the spiral. I mean, come on, Trent Rezner. You know what? He might want to fuck you like an animal, but he won an Oscar for a Disney score. If that isn't the most metal shit ever, I don't know what is more metal than that. Fuck yeah. The girl with the dragon fucking tattoo. Fuck yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Trent
Rezner won an Oscar for a Disney score.
To Disney?
Yep.
Oh my God. Big surprise there.
I mean, do we not live in a great world? Do we not live in a great world? Trent Rezner.
I'm going to go with no.
We live in a great world. Come on. It's great.
We live in a great world. Trent Rezner is still alive.
We live in a society.
I mean,
I saw 9 Inch Nails 4 times in concert, man. Fucking awesome.
All right, well, gentlemen, I'm going to switch you out, see who else is here. I want to thank you for coming on to Midnight Metal. I want to meeting you both, Kansas City and Ottawa. Donnie, it was good to meet you. Cash, good to meet you. Great choices, by the way, both of you for movies. And can I just say, both of you, you're fucking metal, man. Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming on the show. Yeah. Fuck yeah, metal, dude. So Rob, I will.
Peace and love. I love you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate that, and I really do. I surely do. So I will see you again soon. Gotta tell you guys, what a great... This might be the most epic Midnight Metal ever, and we're only an hour and a half into it. My God. First of all, before I bring anyone else on, there's a lot of people who fired in some chats. And let me see where you are. Well, Simon Gilmore said the Board Queen, now that's sexual metal. We talked about her. Alvaro Bazan sends in his super chat and says, I just finished watching The Lobster. Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, makes you depressed about how shallow and deep we are as people. I love The Lobster. It's great. He's an incredible director. And you guys, thank Alvaro, good job for watching that. I love that film. I think it's great. And yeah, makes you think. I consider that a science fiction film. I think it's terrific. Jishan Cater sends in a super chat and says, just finished the first season of Invincible. Oh my God. I really enjoyed this show, and its supporting cast was fantastic. Can't wait for seasons 2 and 3. Well, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but Invincible, once they've expanded the mythology as they did in the comic, I mean, it gets epic. And we know it got renewed for seasons 2 and 3. So they are going to make that shit awesome. And if you like Invincible, I think Invincible is a great animated series. If I do say so myself, if you're going to watch Invincible, please watch Dota Dragon's Blood on Netflix. And watch for the end credits. But yes, I think Invincible was really well done. And they did a great job with the twist. There is a twist. You'll see. You'll find out. You're right. I, too, Jishan, cannot wait for seasons 2 and 3. Brian Kriskow sends in a super chat and says, Hail Metal and hail Rob, you are killing it, bro. Have you read Six Gun Gorilla yet? I have not, but I've heard about it. I have not. Much love to you and to the community you've built. Look, as I've said, I haven't built shit. You guys have built it. I'm just the host. I threw open the door and said, come here, you people. Come join us. Be a part of the community. Let's have a party and dance the hora. No, I'm just a guy that is sharing the love, man. And I tell you, it is amazing that you people are. I mean, when I say you people, I mean you people, my people. So thank you, Brian. I very much appreciate that. S-Beam. Oh, wait, hang on. Wait. Snail Messiah sends in a super chat and says, admit it, a BJ from a Rodian from Star Wars would be heaven. Okay, here's the thing, Snail Messiah. A Rodian, for those of you who don't know, that's Greedo. Greedo's a Rodian. I can't. I admit it. If I met a female Rodian, I would bed her. How could you not with that mouth? You're not wrong, Snail Messiah. By the way, can I just raise my glass? I will raise my goblet of rock. I will raise my goblet of metal to you for that image. Now I'm going to go to bed thinking, maybe Greedo had a sister. S-Beam says, thanks, Rob. That was fun. Fully articulated next time. Absolutely. Laugh out loud. You started right before you brought me on. I was painting the Spock head sculpt. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Mr. Sean 3. By the way, S-Beam, you're the best. Thank you. Thanks for coming on, by the way. Appreciate it. Mr. Sean 3 Kid sends in a super chat and says, Rob, can you do a deep, long review of Lovecraft Country? I loved it, and I need the review only you can give your channel, and now it's part of my daily routine. Well, Mr. Sean 3 Kids, I would. You know what I need to do is, I would love to do that. Tonight would not be the best place, but I think that's a really good idea, and I think that's something we should do. So yes, and you know what I'd like to do that with? Elizabeth. Elizabeth, we're bringing back whining about movies. It's gonna be great, and yeah, that's a really good idea because I have many things to say. Donnie Hartzell sends in a super chat and says, "Fucking metal, you're the man. Gravity Bong is a go piece." Yeah. Well, thank you, Donnie Hartzell. I appreciate that. We're going to bring in some more people. Black Phillip Alvarez. Oh, my God. Black Phillip is back. Do you know who's... Hang on, Black Phillip. Let me just bring you on. I will yammer away as I bring on Black Phillip Alvarez, a foundational member of the Post-Geek Singularity. People love Black Phillip Alvarez, perhaps our favorite Texan. I want to drink barbecue with Black Phillip, or drink I want barbecue sauce because I love Texas. Yeah, I do. I you know what can I say? Hang on. I mean, you know what I mean, dude. I drink barbecue sauce. I totally drink. I think there's someone else besides you here too, which is great. Hang on. Dude, it's good to have you here on Midnight Metal, the first Midnight Metal of Metal May. Okay, hang on. Let me just. I'm gonna bring you in and make it look good as I bring you in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's bring in Black Phillip Alvarez. Yeah, Black Phillip, are you metal?
I'm metal 24/7. You know that.
24. Okay, now, okay, that's fine. But are you metal enough to fuck an alien? And what alien would you fuck? Come on now.
Which one? There's so many to name.
No, like you need to name one.
Like the one from what's the one from Fifth Element? Either Lilu or
dude. Everyone wants to fuck Lilu. Like Lilu. Listen. Let me just say, that's not exactly a stretch. You're not exactly advancing the human species and the experience by going, like, you want to fuck Mila Jovovich? Wow. So would I. Come on, by the way, I got Captain Robert April in the back. He's going to come on soon, and I'm going to bring him on. But Black Phillip Alvarez, before I bring on Captain Robert April, the first captain of the Starship Enterprise, I know people are like, what about Jonathan Archer? I don't even talk about it. You know what? Robert April, counterclock incident. no one knows what I'm talking about. Whatever. But anyway, I'm just gonna say. So, I want you to come up with something creative. Give me an alien from science fiction comic books that's not looking like Mila Jovovich. Show me how you can walk on the wild side.
Does Nebula count?
Yeah, like Karen Gillan is really hard on the eyes. Like it'd be really difficult to take off. I know she's half cyborg, but oh my god, are you kidding me?
Why not? I think it'd be more like some kind of S&M type thing with Nebula.
Dude, but she's hot. Look, I look at my hot toy of Nebula and I'm like, she's hot. But you're right.
She can do like freaky things with her, her parts. So you never know what she can do to you.
Oh, I do know what she can do to me, but it wouldn't be. I would not be hard pressed to be like, oh, I'd go there. The real question is, like, let me ask you this, Black Phillip. The real question is, would you fuck a predator?
Are there female predators, honestly?
Yeah, how could there not be?
Well, I saw the last Predator movie. Was one of them female? So why not?
Well, use your imagination. If there was, and could you go there? You know, I'm gonna bring on someone else to join us, like the Evil Dead join us. So I'm gonna bring on Captain Robert April, the first captain of the Enterprise, and we're gonna have a debate. We're going to have a debate. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about
master debate, huh?
Oh, come on now. Come on now. All right. So I'm going to bring on Captain Robert April, introduced canonically in the Counterclock incident, the last episode, episode 22 of the animated Star Trek series from 73 to 74. Please welcome all of you. We now have with us Black Phillip Alvarez and Captain Robert April, he's apparently a Sith Lord.
He's a Sith Lord.
He's a Sith Lord, and he's also got. He's like a Corey Hart fan because he's got on sunglasses at night.
Yeah. You gotta get the effect right. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome, Captain Robert April. I'm going to ask you the question. Wow, he's being browbeaten already. So
wife's calling you.
Captain Robert April, with your wife listening, full knowledge, would you fuck an alien, and what alien would that be?
Actually, we kind of discussed this earlier. I'm an old-fashioned boy. I would go, Orion slave girls. Ahsoka Tano comes to mind.
Oh, not bad. I love
Tiana from Farscape.
Okay. Yep. All right. He does. But basically, what you're saying is what?
Oh, he left.
Captain Robert April. What?
There we go.
Oh, he's back. Okay, so
I don't know what's going on here.
So basically, now here's the thing. I think. Can I just say I'm a little disappointed in the disingenuous nature of this, because everyone's picking like these hot girls. Like, who wouldn't do that? Lilu. I mean, I'm like, I want you to, Quaid, expand your mind.
Quaid.
Like, what I want you to do, what I want you to do is, like, reach beyond. Like, would you, like, who wouldn't? Like, all these hot girls, like, I'm talking about, I want you to go into the more alien, like, I don't know what Octurian is. It doesn't matter if it's Octurian, baby. All I know is what Frost said in Aliens. Like, I want to know, like, how far out would you go? Like, where would you go? How far would you go?
You can't do the alien queen because she spits out acid. So,
well, that's a logistical problem. That you're right. Wait, wait, what?
We left again.
Oh, he's back now.
Okay.
He's back.
So Black Phillip Alvarez makes a very important point. Like, if somebody's going to lube you up with their saliva, an alien queen would take your entire. You die.
Entire testicle.
Your whole body.
It'd be
we're talking acid
situation. Just dissolve you right
balls
there.
and all.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. You're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
So, from a pragmatic standpoint, maybe coupling with a xenomorph, not so good.
No.
So what about
I was thinking behind the box there.
It's like a friend. Like I knew a guy who put it like masturbating with a cheese grater. You know, mildly amusing but really painful. You know.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be good.
No.
There's sandpaper.
Hang on. So let's see. Somebody
keeps disappearing.
Keeps disappearing. I don't know. He'll come back. There he's back.
I don't know what's going on. For some reason my computer is not like your browser singer.
Well,
there he is.
He's back. Well, let me ask you this, you guys. So, Captain Robert April.
Mm-hmm. Yes, quick.
Captain. Well, I mean, you told us, but give me some transgressive. Give me the most out there alien you might consider doing it with.
Well, there's the Chicken Galaxy Quest. You know, that's not right.
A Thermian. But I'd go there. I could see that. Yeah. I mean, if you got her there, you at least know you succeeded.
Oh yeah, and that makes you a whole new appreciation for tentacle porn. Yeah.
Yeah. Hentai. So Black Phillip Alvarez, come on. Don't give me some hot girl that we're all going to be like, oh, I get that.
Wasn't the one from Enemy Mine, wasn't he, what do you call it? Was it asexual or the one that has...
Zombies. Zombies
check
is
the settings here.
Yes. Didn't he have like both,
yeah, nothing there I could do.
Wow, dude. You know what? Black Phillip Alvarez, you, my friend... just scored major points going the Enemy Mine alien and somebody who is not asexual, but what is it? You can reproduce with yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dennis Quaid could hook up with Louis Gossett Jr. as the alien. Good for you, sir. That is I drink. You know what? Dare we say it? Black Phillip Alvarez. That is fucking metal. That kind of coupling. That's what I want. Thinking out of the box. That's what makes this show fucking awesome.
He doesn't really have a sex, right? So,
right. So it can go any way you want. It's people.
And I know that's the stuff you like to hear. So
people coming together. This is what I mean by every single person you meet has a story to tell you haven't heard. But Black Phillip Alvarez, you're willing to listen. You are willing to listen. If you're on a planet where your son or child is stolen from a miners, you and Dennis Quaid will team up and have a good time. You
told me to think out of the box. So
I would say that is out of the box thinking. By the way,
just hope somebody drops a Pepsi can.
Well, man, would you be surprised to know I have Enemy Mine on Blu-ray? I do.
It needs a 4K like yesterday.
Man, that is not going to come out on 4K anytime soon.
It needs to, damn it.
I know, man. Dude, I just ordered True Romance today on 4K. It's all good.
Doesn't Dieter have a hookup for some company or something?
Dieter doesn't have a hookup for everything.
Oh,
I wonder if Dieter's here. Dieter should come back.
I haven't seen him.
I wonder if Tom is still in the chat. So have you seen...
Oh, man.
Oh, he dropped. He was...
And
there he is.
Whether or not Tom has seen on our Majesty's Secret Service yet.
Oh, I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. I have no idea.
And if he hasn't, Tom, I want in on that panel. Okay? We will bury your ass in trivia on that movie.
All right, so gentlemen, thank you for being here. And
thank you.
I would
as I can get, yeah.
I love bringing. This is good. This quick rotation is kind of fun. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank you both for being here on the first Metal May of I can't believe I'm still doing this show. Kind of like Az's. It was supposed to be a one-off thing. Amazing. I can't believe that's here. Thank you guys for participating.
Call it Metal Mania.
Metal. Yeah, it is. It's metal. That's fuck yeah, it is. That's it. Metal Mania. That's it. God damn it, Black Phillip Alvarez. I got to put you on the payroll.
Yeah,
I don't have any money, but there'll be a payroll. There's no money to pay anyone.
I take PayPal.
Well, yeah, the will be zero. I mean, I can't. It's. I got to put everyone on a paying basis eventually. I want to be like heal the world, but I can't do that yet. But
try StreamYards next time. It's my little stable.
I know, right? But anyway, gentlemen. Oh wait,
Right.
kinky sphincter.
Oh, me and Kinky.
And let me just tell you, if you're kinky sphincter, I think the idea of a alien tail works out well.
Talk about a middle
Just
name,
me.
good
I
Lord.
mean, Kinky Sphincter says, Rob, the alien chick from Independence Day, all those tentacles and suckers on each one. Wow. Well, that would actually be wouldn't that be the alien from Independence Day 2, because she was the queen that was running around at the Winnebago? But you're right.
I actually like that movie.
Yes, Critical Drinker's not wrong, but my God, what a movie that is!
Trust me, folks, I'm just as frustrated as you all are. Okay,
I don't mind it. I don't mind.
Dude, it's got some great effects. It's not a good movie, but it's pretty hilariously nuts. But anyway, I have not been able
for
to.
all the wrong reasons. Yeah.
So, gentlemen, I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys now. Thank you for being on the show. And I'm going to see maybe other people will show up. I think
next
at this
time
point,
I send you an invite, show up once in a while.
Yeah, I will. Hang on. I will. Hang on. I'm going to throw this in here.
Right.
For those of you who don't know,
always a pleasure, Rob.
Right.
I will see you guys later. And yes, one day. But Captain Robert April, you never give me enough advance notice.
Well, true. I know it's sort of a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, bring it. Let's plan it, and we'll do it.
Okay.
All right. And Black Phillip Alvarez, thank you so much. Will I see you tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Oh yeah,
I'll be here. I'll see you tomorrow. And see, you know what? It's just me. And as I get drunker and drunker as we go on, we've got Pat Finch. Pat Finch, are you ready to come on? He's blowing his nose. Are you ready to come on the show? Pat, do you have headphones or anything? Because you're echoing. If we could do that, it would be better. Because I'm gonna bring you on, and you know who else we have? All the way from Sweden, we have Stubble McShave. Stubble McShave is here. We got Pat Finch and Stubble McShave, and you got to give me a little time to put them on, and I will put them on. By the way, I'm having this is by the way, how fucking metal is it? People all over the world. It's fucking amazing. Okay, now you got the headphones. It's good. You're good. So I'm going to add 2 people, Pat Finch, who I don't know, and Stubble McShave, who I do know, but Stubble, hold on for a minute. I ask you to hold on. You wait. I'm gonna wait to bring you on because I don't know Pat Finch, and we're going to meet Pat Finch, and he better tell us what alien he will fuck. I mean, that's what we want to know on this Midnight Metal Show. He laugh all you want. You better have a goddamn answer, Pat Finch. It's going to be good. I mean, everyone wants to know. I mean, that's what Midnight Metal is all about. First of all, please, all of you, give a warm welcome to Mr. Pat Finch. Pat, I drink to you, sir. I must ask you first, where are you coming to us from?
I'm in Maryland, actually. I was doing an all-nighter. I have a final paper to write on European politics and counterterrorism. So,
wow.
And I just thought, hey, I'll just listen to the stream. I found out you were live, and I'm like, hey, might as well listen to this while I'm typing, and then that's kind of what happened. And
well, you know what that is? You know what that is, Pat? Pat, that's fucking metal, dude. So welcome.
Thanks, man.
And
I actually wrote a letter to you some time ago on I was talking about Turkish movies.
Did I read it?
Yeah, you did read it.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I remember. I'll have to figure out. I don't remember which episode it was exactly.
Do you talk about Baskin? Baskin, the Turkish horror film Baskin?
No, it was the Turkish Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay, yes. The
Turkish. I love that movie. I don't know what it is. I just love that movie. I adore that movie. I don't know why. It's funny because I literally was watching. I'm not sure if there's a YouTube channel called Neon Harbor. I was listening to it. And I was watching it, and they were talking about Turkish Spider-Man or Turkish Captain America.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And I watched it, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I found the movie free on YouTube with English subtitles, and I watched it because I was studying Turkish at the time. And I just love that movie. It's so bad, it's good.
I'm right there with you. But now I'm going to... You've walked into this because you live in Maryland.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something you have to do.
Okay.
So I produced and edited a feature film called Tango Shalom. It is playing. It is playing in Washington, D.C. at a drive-in on Wednesday, the 26th of May. What I need... I'm just putting you on the spot. What I need is somebody to go there, and even using your phone, go there and shoot video that I can use for the inevitable release on social media, or on physical media. So if you can, you're in Maryland, if you can go to Washington, D.C. on May 26th, you can already buy... Anyway, I know. I'm putting you on the spot. Don't worry. I'm going to bring on Stub McShave, and we're going to talk about fucking aliens, just so you know.
Good, because I want to go get something.
Oh, okay. You go get something, and I'm going to put Stubble McShave, who, by the way, I mean, I can... for those of you who don't know, Stub McShave is a longtime foundational member of the Post-Geek Singularity, who is getting a dream. A dream. How many people get a dream come true? Well, Stubble is getting the dream come true, and his dream is that the thing he loves most in the world, which is the Wheel of Time series, is getting a series, and he's getting it all. Now, I would ask him, Stubble, is there any way you're very low in the frame? Can we get you? Can you? Yes. That's what I want. And I want to put you into the frame. Please welcome, we have Pat Finch, but we're waiting. Bring on Stubble McShave in widescreen cinemascope. Stubble, welcome to Midnight Metal. How are you?
I'm great. It's morning here.
What time is it in Sweden?
Oh, it's just after 11.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
So, okay. Before we get into aliens, I mean, you've sent me, which I have right over here, I've got the first Wheel of Time book.
Yeah.
Now, you love the Wheel of Time the way wow, look at this. Hang on. But wait, before we get to this, wait, Pat, you got to hold off on this because I want to ask Stubble. I need Stubble, tell the audience, why do you love the Wheel of Time so much?
First of all,
first, before you start, tell everybody what Wheel of Time is.
It's a book series that's probably one of the biggest book series ever made. It's a story about how someone gets tapped on the shoulder and is told to save the world. But they have to save the world, but they have to lose a lot of. They have to go crazy and kill a lot of their friends and so on. It's a whole world that's face Armageddon. So it's maybe I think it's close to 3,000 named characters in the series.
Oh my God!
and
Really?
around 150 different points of view.
That's insane. That's like Legends of the Galactic Heroes, my favorite manga.
Yeah, but
All right.
but the thing I love most are the characters and the world building.
Sure. No, of course. Now, that said, now that we've introduced you, what alien would you fuck?
Many have been mentioned already, and I thought of going easy and maybe Andorians or something like that. But that's a cop out.
I don't think Andorians are a cop out. I mean, on Enterprise, we learned a lot more about Andorians than we ever knew.
Yeah, I thought, where would my board be? Where would my limit be? Where would I say maybe yes, maybe no?
Yeah, what would that be?
And I thought the Kaminoans in Star Wars.
Wow, Lala Soon or whatever. Wow, dude, that's a great fucking answer. Oh, yes. Stubble. You know what? I've always loved you. That is a great answer.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. That's fucking metal, dude. That is awesome. That is so. Oh my God. Here's the thing. Here's what people.
My brother taught me that a while back.
Oh, sure.
He was into 80s hair metal, so.
I have to say, Stubble, this is why the community of imagination connoisseurs is great. Because that answer is so good. Lala Sue, like, hello. Like, who didn't think about that? She has a very long neck. Who knows what she can do? Oh my God, that was so good. Okay, Pat, now that you're back, are you back with us?
Yes, I am back.
So the question is, we know that's. Wait, where are you? I forgot. Where are you?
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland.
I'm actually in a town that is like 45 minutes away from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, so go see Tango Shalom on the 26th of May.
Okay, I'll have to write that down somewhere.
Go there and take video. But okay, so the question also, I mean, I know Stubbles set a high bar, but
yes, he did.
Who would you, if you could have any alien, who would you have?
The Duras sisters.
Oh, that's I love that you said both of them. Lursa and Betor, the Duras sisters. That's a great you two gentlemen have not disappointed.
Speaking of Star Trek, I actually did write you a second letter in regards to Star Trek Discovery, because what happened was Star Trek Discovery was on, and me and my dad were watching it, and it was like, this is such a terrible show. We were just complaining about the writing. There's a lot of good points in there, but it's just
no.
It's bad writing. That's my point, because the writing is terrible.
It's the worst science fiction writing, I think. You know what? There are 50s B movies. Ed Wood made better movies than Star Trek. No, I know that's too much. But
I would have to agree with you with that. I'd have to agree. Plan 9 from Outer Space is a far better movie.
It makes more sense.
I would rather watch Plan 9 or Mighty Joe Young than Discovery.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Yes.
So wait, so we've got the
letter.
Why? Sorry, I just want to point out that Stubble's come up with the Kaminoans, someone from Camino, hell yeah, and the Duras sisters. I'm thinking all three of them. If I could spend a night with, that's an amazing evening of fun.
Yeah, that would be an amazing evening of fun.
And what's great is if you die, they can take your genetic material and clone you, and then you can do it all over again. I mean,
yeah, you could, but would the soul be the same though?
You know what? Apparently, because you can just download. If Picard can be downloaded into an android body, they've completely. You can do anything. Just make shit up. Doesn't have to make sense.
That's why I do not want to watch Picard, because if I watch Picard, it will ruin my chances of rewatching TNG and the TNG films.
No, it's like
that's why I don't want to watch Picard at all.
It's beyond terrible.
Exactly. That's why I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But this was what I ordered on my birthday, because the problem is they are not. It's basically hard to find Star Trek stuff now because of the licensing you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, well, Exos. There is Exos 6, a new company that is making 6-scale Star Trek figures that look to be great. We'll see.
Yes, they look really good. But so in February was my 23rd birthday, and I'm like, I always want to model Enterprise. And I didn't know which version to get, so I just got this model kit from 1995.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So, and I used to do a lot of
and those are 2500 scale, right?
Yeah, I believe so, because I have the original box. So I have the original box.
Yeah, I remember that. That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, I got this for like.
And by the way, the Enterprise E, that predates the Enterprise E, because the Enterprise E was not introduced until '96.
Yeah, this came out in 95. Yeah, 1995. Trademark 1995, and made in the USA too.
Yep, that's very cool. So you've got the original Enterprise. Well, I mean, of course, we don't have the NX-01 because it hasn't been created yet. But you had the 1701, the 1701A, or the refit, and the D.
Yes, because those were the Star Trek. Because when I used to watch Star Trek on television, those were the things that I associate with the Enterprise. Was the A, the Enterprise A, the D, and the original. Because when I used to go down to Florida, I used to watch, because we have season 2 and 3 at home. One of my older brothers has the first season on DVD, and so I used to watch the second and third season all the time of the original series of Star Trek. And speaking of, you know what was my first favorite science fiction film and show?
Well, I do not, because we're just meeting for the first time.
I know. Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes from 1968.
Fuck yeah, dude! That shit was dope. That by the way, that movie changed my life when I was like 6.
I know, because same with me. Because if it weren't for that movie, I would not fall in love with primates, because I love primates ever since watching that movie.
On this show, like, when you fell in love with primates, how far does that go? I'm just asking. I mean, you brought it up. I'd be remiss if I didn't be like, you love primates. I'm just saying. I mean, I like in a Diane Fossey. Can you believe that? IDW. Look at that. Planet of the Apes meets Star Trek. That shit is dope. It's so good.
It is dope.
But your love of primates. I mean, I understand you can be like Diane Fossey, or you could love primates. I don't want to say. But it's all good. I want to thank you for that and sharing with us something that maybe we shouldn't know. Just saying. But anyway, I okay. So back to the Enterprise.
Not that way. No, not that way.
You know what? I'm very open. Who am I to judge? What I'm much more interested in understanding or knowing, what is your favorite Enterprise? What is your favorite iteration?
I could not choose. Because what happened is either get that or get the one of the Enterprises. The NX-01, the original, the 1701, the 1701A, the B, the C, D, E. Like, I couldn't choose. Now, what I saw online, eventually I fell in love with, is I want the NX-01 refitted Enterprise.
Well, that's the Doug Drexler, yes. Which they did make a model of that. I mean, it's a smaller model, but they did make a kit of that.
Yeah, they did. And the cool thing about this is I didn't know if you knew this, but there was a Facebook group that wanted them to go back and do the 5th season of Star Trek Enterprise.
Yes, I would love to have seen that.
Yeah, I honestly would love to have seen that. I think that compared to the Enterprise now, I'd rather see Enterprise than Discovery in the terrible writing.
Oh, I you know what? I think most of the atrocities of the 20th century are preferable to the 3 seasons. No, I can't say that. It's terrible. It's not. You know what? I can't go that far. Let me ask Stubble. Let me ask you, Stubble. Do you watch Star Trek? Do you argue a Star Trek fan?
Yeah, I watched all the old Star Trek, but I just watched a bit of the new.
Okay, but now let me ask you this. Do you have a favorite iteration of the Enterprise? There's the original, there's the motion picture Enterprise, there's the 1701D from TNG, there's the Enterprise E that was introduced in First Contact. Do you have a favorite Enterprise? No wrong answers. I know I'm judgmental, but no wrong answers.
I watched TNG the most, so that's my home turf. That's my choice. Not because of the aesthetics, but because of that's what I'm most familiar with.
Well, as you know, I mean, I've got my parts. You know, I'm doing the whole like this is just a bridge. I'm building this enormous. I'm going to start documenting my progress as I build it. Here's like one warp nacelle. It's crazy. But yes, you know, the D, having done the documentaries for the Blu-rays, I used to hate the D when I first saw it. And now it's like an old friend. It's like a pillow on a couch. The biggest pillow you ever saw. I love the D. So there you go. There is that's the 1/2500 scale D.
Yeah,
it's good. All right, so hang on. So Stubble, are there the Wheel of Time series? It's a period piece. It's like Game of Thrones, right? It's in the Middle Ages or something.
It's set. Think of it as in the Renaissance of pre-industrial without gunpowder.
So there are no spaceships.
No.
So that's good.
There may have been spaceships in the previous age before the apocalypse.
Wait a minute. What? Wait. Are you telling me what? The Wheel of Time's Middle Ages, but there were spaceships like ancient astronauts?
Yeah. No. It's unclear. There was certainly hover vehicles. Because the previous age, which was called the Age of Legends, ended in an apocalypse. And society fell. So they went back to maybe not the Stone Ages, but to, yeah.
All right. Well,
and when the books are set, think of it as 1700s, 1800s without gunpowder.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, gentlemen. Well, I'm going to rotate you both out. I want to thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Stubble from all the way from Sweden. Thank you. And I want to say, Pat, good to meet you for the first time.
Nice meeting you.
And just one thing. One small thing.
And
one small thing.
Well, yes, please. One more thing.
Did you see the maybe 5-second clip that dropped on Amazon?
No, I did not.
No, I haven't seen it.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, it's a small character introduction.
All right. Well, I haven't seen it. I will look at that. It did drop today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out that book
Dropped,
series. But I have Agent of Byzantium by Harry Turtledove. I haven't read that, but I've always been interested in history, and so I wouldn't mind reading some old history. And I have one last question before you rotate me out, Rob.
Yes, sir.
My question is, why hasn't there been a tech war, a Will Shatner tech series?
Well, there was a TV show, and it was
Okay.
I think
I bought the books and read it. There's this used bookstore I think you will love that I'll probably add in the chat.
Oh yeah,
it's
please
called
do.
Wonderbook and Video, and they sell used physical media like records and movies and stuff. They live up in Frederick, Maryland. They also sell a lot of used sci-fi books, and they have good deals right now on comic books. And after watching Az and his comic book collection, I've been buying comics like crazy now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I need to get rid of them all. I've got thousands of comics here. They must go. But yeah, I mean, it's all, it's we live in a very strange world now, where. I mean, it's amazing. I have paper products I've been hauling around for 40 years, and suddenly, when one character gets popular, garbage comics become worth a fortune. It's strange. But I want to thank you both for being here, and it was great to meet you, Pat, and of course Stubble. Always a pleasure. And we'll see who shows up next on Midnight Metal. I want to thank you both for being here. I mean, it's crazy. So I will see who, I don't know who is going to be next on this show. I really don't. Maybe no one. Maybe other people. I don't know. I really don't. I have no idea who's next. Oh wait, somebody is next. Alvaro Bazan. I don't know if that I got the name right. Alvaro, I can't see you. Oh, wait, and someone else is here. Just Plain Steve is here. Alvaro, I can't see you yet, but I'm going to add in Just Plain Steve to the conversation. We'll see about that. But Alvaro, you got to put on headphones or something because we're hearing hearing from you. But that's all right. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Just Plain Steve is coming in. So hang on, Just Plain Steve. I'm gonna add you in to the. Let's see. Wait. I don't know. Alvaro, I had to mute you just so you know. I'm putting Just Plain Steve into the show. I'm gonna bring him up. Hold on, Just Plain Steve. In a world where Just Plain Steve is not just plain anymore, he is going to be added to tonight's Midnight Metal. So. Just Plain Steve, join us. You are now in the chat. Can I hear you? Oh, I can't hear you. I can't. Your microphone is not active. Hang on. Yes, hang on. I'll bring you back, but just wait until make that work and talk to me, Goose. Talk to me. Oh, Alvaro Bazan is Hang on. Before I go further, there are Midnight Mike sends in a super chat and says, "Thanks for entering us workers that get off around midnight or so. It's so fucking metal." Yes, I can hear you now, Just Plain Steve. And I want to bring you on. Hang on. It is fucking metal, Midnight Mike. And Ash Chowan sends in a tip and says, fun fact, the Predator that fought Arnold was actually a female that was testing his genetic fitness via combat. She was never going to kill him, but mate with him. But Arnold fucked up when he called her an ugly motherfucker. So she decided to blow him up. I don't know if I buy that, Ash. Come on now. Come on, is that really... Do you buy that? I don't know if I buy that. Let's, first of all, let's go back. We're going to bring on Just Plain Steve. Say hello.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you, Just Plain Steve.
Fantastic. How you doing, man?
Well, no, the real question is, how are you doing? How you doing?
I am spectacular. Thank you for asking.
Now, the real question is, what alien would you fuck?
I'm going to cheat just a little bit.
Oh, man, come on now.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to go with an alien. Technically speaking, it's an alien. I'm going to go with an android.
All right. You know what? All right. You better have a good reason.
There's a very specific android I have in mind, and it's a video game character from Mass Effect 3, and I can't remember the name of the character. But the very...
you want to have sex with a character you can't remember the name of?
I know, it's horrible, but it's, I've done that with women, so we've
Oh
all been there, right?
my God, this is so terrible. No, we're supposed to be respectful. We're supposed to be people that do good, that our techniques and talents are sung about in Klingon operas throughout the galaxy. When you say you can't remember,
you're making me feel bad.
No,
it's
don't
horrible.
feel bad.
I know it's horrible.
No,
okay, my second one. You know what? I'm horrible with names. Okay, but if I could go for another choice, when I got into Star Trek, which I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I loved the Next Generation growing up. I know. I'm not a huge. I've watched a lot of the shows. I'm much more comic book based fandom here, but I've watched Next Generation, Enterprise, Voyager. I've watched the new shows, which are so. But I always had a thing for those Klingon sisters from the Next Generation.
Yeah, Lursa B'Etor. Yeah.
There it is. Oh, yeah. I would like to have a night of drinks and Klingon opera with those two.
Well, I mean, not a bad choice. I have to say, okay. I will.
I'll go with that.
Especially B'Etor. I mean,
oh yeah,
the way she treated Picard, she will rock your world.
That's what I was hoping. Now I was a little young at the time, I don't think I'd touched a woman yet, but they hold a special place in my heart.
Look, all of us suckled from our mother's bosom. We know what's up. We get there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Rob, I just wanted to say, honestly, I didn't expect to get in here, so I appreciate you having me. I've been watching you since you showed up on, what was it, AMC Heroes at the time?
Wow, it was AMC Heroes. That was when I first started on YouTube.
Right, and so I appreciate you having me on. It's quite an honor, so thank you very much.
Well, Just Plain Steve, I would say the honor is all mine because, like I said, I just open the door and I invite people in, and Alvaro Bazan is going to come in and join us, if you don't mind. And I'm going to question you and make you answer really embarrassing questions that nobody really probably should answer. But since you're here, why not? And we're going to find out where you both are from, and you're going to tell us more about yourself. And to be honest, I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Hang on, I'm just organizing all of this and figuring it all out. All right, so we are adding Alvaro Bazan to this. Please, all of you, welcome Alvaro Bazan. We can't hear you. We cannot. Oh, I didn't know that. We can't hear you.
I can hear him.
Oh, you can. You can hear. I can't hear him.
Weird.
And he's not. You can hear him. I cannot. I don't know why. Okay, hold on. We will. Well, Can you sign? So hang on. You play around with your sound. I will ask Just Plain Steve. So Just Plain Steve, thank you for the kind words. Now let me ask you, when did you become an imagination connoisseur?
Oh man, I wrote you a letter like 2 years ago, kind of detailing how I grew up. Talking about grew up real poor, didn't have a whole lot. Super poor. I mean, cockroach infested house, no utilities, and it wasn't until
I remember that.
Yeah, and it probably wasn't until I ran into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was about 10 years old that I really kind of grabbed onto that whole world. And now, I huge action figure collector, movies, comic books. I mean, it's just kind of become my way of life. I'll take it just real quick. I don't know how well this is going to come across, but just kind of show you. I'm in my basement right now.
Oh, wow.
But
wow!
Yeah, I got...
Dude, that is fucking dope! Dude, that's fucking metal as fuck! Look at that shit! That's... Okay, wait, hang on. Wait.
Yes.
You need to define what we just saw.
Okay.
What was it? I mean, like you just gave us... I was trying to focus in, like, what do we have? Like, this is an amazing collection. What is this?
Okay,
you need...
So I kind of got I'm a fan of a lot of stuff. Most of it is Marvel comic stuff. Okay. So, but over here I got my Power Rangers. Down here I got Batman the animated
over
series.
A little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that very well.
Yeah.
That light
there
out
we
of
go.
the way.
There we go. No, okay.
I'm working with the screen this small, so I'm trying here. Down there, I've got some Ghostbusters figures with a rooftop diorama. Those are made by NECA Toys.
Nice.
Over here, I've got this is all Marvel Legends.
Look at
and the reason
that!
I like,
oh my god!
Yeah,
bruh, Steve.
The reason I like
oh
Marvel
my
Legends
god! And you
me,
got the Batman the animated series Batmobile right there.
Batwing and Batmobile, yeah. The reason I go with the Marvel Legends over a lot of other lines is just for variety.
Your collection is fucking metal. This is some metal.
Yeah, I gotta...
Look at... Oh my
god,
look at that.
Here, man.
Wow.
These are some of my horror figures. I'm not sure how well that's coming across. It's not a lot of light down here, but...
it looks pretty good, man.
Oh my god. Okay, Alvaro, we can hear you now.
Oh, fantastic. That's
okay,
awesome.
I'm gonna bring on... Can I bring on Alvaro?
What's up? Man,
you're here. You're up. Here. We can hear you.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here, man.
Well, Alvaro, we can hear you now. It's all good. And Just Plain Steve. Alvaro, what do you think of Steve's collection?
Man, I'm very envious of it. I hope to have something like that one day. I kind of have a similar setup as downstairs. I have like my Star Wars shrine.
All good.
Collectibles, stuff like that.
Well, so now that I have you both here, let me ask you the same question. Why, like, I too collect toys and figures and shit. Why do you guys collect? What is it like? What and when I ask you this question, for me it's like therapy. I'm trying to work through my own issues.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we collect figures?
I'll defer to Alvaro since I've been talking for a minute. He can go ahead and knock this one out first.
Yeah, no. Well, for me personally, I think I just really appreciate the art of it. Like the history, the lore behind it. Like I was just thinking about before I came on your show. It's when you join a fandom, it's kind of like joining a country. They have established rules, established history. You can't just go in and like go to England and be like, okay, you guys don't have a queen anymore. It's not a thing. You have to respect the history and the appreciation for whether you think like something went right or something went wrong. That's a part of that. And by collecting these, these toys, these comics, these books, it's kind of like you're just building up your collection of relics. That's the way I look at it. It's something awesome.
Right. No, you're right. Now, okay, I want to throw out something that Mr. Sean 3 Kids sends in a super chat and says, Rob, you said the phrase bustin' nuts earlier. Actually, someone else wrote that to me, but Snoop Dogg coined that phrase on Dr. Dre's Chronic album, as far as I know, in 1991, which was 30 years ago. Where did you learn that phrase? Well, I don't know. As a pop culture junkie and someone who actually loves Dre and Snoop Dogg, maybe I heard that. I mean, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. When I came to California in 1988 and went to USC, I was a huge Too Short fan. I love Too Short, and he had a lot of turns of phrases that were new and unique, and also the first movie I ever worked on when I finished college was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and it was the year that Paul's Boutique, which was the second Beastie Boys record, came out, and there was, the turns of phrases, I don't know. I mean, my brain is a constant, endless parade of pop culture ephemera, so I couldn't answer that question. Poopins sends in a super chat and says, and I asked both of you, does V'ger from Star Trek the Motion Picture count as an alien? And I would add to this question, so that means, can you fuck V'ger? And I think Star Trek the Motion Picture was perhaps the most galactic porn we've ever seen. So you gentlemen, I asked the question to you both. Would you fuck an alien? And if you did, who would that alien be?
Oh, you go,
I already gave my answers about the two ladies from Star Trek.
Yeah, which was good.
The Klingons. Yeah, so I'll again defer to him.
No, your answer was great.
For me, I'd say, man, so many of the big name ones already went. So I'd say maybe like a Zygerian. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them from the Clone Wars. They're, kind of like, they're just, what?
No, that's a really good answer. Really good answer.
Edgy, man.
So why? Please explain to the audience why they are. Where'd you go? Why'd you go there?
Man. Well, it's like, they're kind of a shit type of they're slave traders, so they're kind of known for being a little bit more aggressive and shit like that. But man, they just have a suave to them. Like the princess that was in the Clone Wars, she just had a suave to her. She was just like badass, and I was like, damn, that's tight. That is super cool.
That's tight, meaning figuratively. I look. Oh, I'm doing. It's metal, man. I don't want to. I just, I don't want anyone to not share.
Of course.
But by the way, I gotta say, the two of you have not disappointed. Now, let me ask you this, both of you. Starting with Just Plain Steve.
Yes, sir.
When did you know you were an imagination connoisseur?
Well, again, for me, it was, when I was 12, 11, 10, in that age group, and I found the Ninja Turtles, and I'm referring to that letter that I sent you a couple years back. I think you put it better than I ever could have, and how you described that, it's maybe this kind of leads a little more towards action figures, but I've been collecting toys as long as I can remember. Is that in these figures, live all the stories that we read and the shows that we watch, and and I thought that was a really good way to put it. So in this Thanos, I don't know if you can see that, I can. When all I think about is the Infinity War comics, or in this Mr. Hyde, or in this Jason figure, or in this Leonardo, it's just all these characters that have just been a part of me for so long, that it was at the time, it was an escape from the reality that I lived in, not a lot to look forward to every day. But over time, I've come to appreciate it for, what it is, which is it's a very relevant form of storytelling, and you see a lot of the whiz bangs and the lasers and the ridiculous muscles and superhero costumes. And a show like Invincible that everyone's been talking about recently is a perfect example. A lot of people watch that and they see blood and guts and bad words, but underneath that is a really strong, like, beautiful narrative, that just kind of grabs a hold.
Just Plain Steve, you nailed it. I mean, that's exactly right. And I cannot stress more that you what you just said, you totally get it. And it's very funny as you get older, and I'm old. People look at me. I get this a lot. They're like, there are people that look at me and go, like, why do you drink on the weekends and do midnight metal and say, oh, fuck yeah, metal? And well, the reason is because imagination knows no bounds. And
age.
one of the great things about what I think we've built on this channel is that everybody, is welcome here, and we all are imagination connoisseurs. We all have our thing. There's always a thing. Like, what do we love? What is it that connects us to? And it all leads to our imaginations. We're all using our imaginations to imbue things with meaning. And for me, I don't know why, but I love the miniaturization of whatever. My sister had my mom was fixated on dollhouses, and when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s, there was what was it? Lundby. It was called Lundby, and it was a dollhouse company from like Europe, and they made like miniature furniture, and you could buy a Lundby dollhouse and you could plug it in, it would light up, but you had to buy all the furniture. You had to furnish the house, and I was awesome. Like, it was awesome, and my sister could give a fuck about it, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm looking at all the little like things that you could buy, like the chairs and it was amazing.
It just inspires innovation.
It was so cool, and I would I had no control over it because it was my sister's dollhouse. I'm like, don't you want to get like more lamps for this room? And I couldn't say it. No, people thought I was crazy. Like, I'm like, you bought this. I didn't buy this. I didn't know this shit existed. Lundby is some fucking Swedish company. I don't know. And they had little plugs and lights. You could buy all kinds of shit. I loved it. And I'm like, what world? All these empty bottles of Pellegrino.
What a world!
I'm like, what a world! It's so great. So now the question I have to ask you, I've asked Just Plain Steve, but now, please forgive my pronunciation. Alvaro?
Yeah, Alvaro. I go by Alvi.
Alvaro. All right. So when did you know that you were an imagination connoisseur?
Man, that is a deep question. That is a very profound question. I'd say one of my first memories is I live in Portland, and we have the OMSI. It's an
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
My sister lives there. I have so many friends that live there. People I work with.
Place.
I love Portland. I thought it was a flaming ruin. Like there's a really perpetual mushroom cloud above Portland right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's mostly blown over at this point. But,
okay, can I just stop you for a second? Okay.
Yeah.
This is a bag of candy from Bruce's Candy Kitchen in Cannon Beach, Oregon.
Dude, I had no idea. I need to go check that out then.
Dude, okay. It's only less than an hour away.
Oh, for sure.
Cannon Beach. My favorite candy of all time. My sister sent this to me. It came the other day.
That's awesome.
My favorite candy of all time. Of all time. Say what you want. is this.
What
You know what?
that?
You know what this is?
So like,
This. When I was 5 years old, it was the first time I went to Seaside, Oregon, Gearhart, because my aunt. This is cinnamon saltwater taffy.
I know what you're talking about.
From Bruce's,
I know what you're talking about.
From Bruce's Candy Kitchen in Cannon Beach, Oregon. This is my favorite candy in all of the world. In all of the world, no one will understand. Yeah, a lot of people do. If you don't like cinnamon, whatever.
But the salt is amazing. It adds a different dimension to it.
This is. I just want to say, my sister sent it to me, and look at this. I mean, you can't quite. People are like, what is it? It's wax paper and this.
They just gotta try it. You gotta try it. It's one of those things you just have to try. And when you try it, it just lights up your eyes.
They make all kinds of candy, but I'm just gonna say right now at 2:46 a.m. in the morning, this is my favorite candy on the planet Earth, and it is only from. Hang on. From Bruce's Candy Kitchen in Cannon Beach, Oregon, and we've talked about having sex with aliens.
Talk about having sex with candy, man. That's the one to have it with. A cunning linguist, as they say.
I can't even begin to tell you how much I love this goddamn candy. You know what this candy is? They'll never understand why that.
No, man, it's
Cannon Beach is fucking metal. Haystack Rock is metal. This candy, I can't even speak. Oh my god! You know what this is? My mouth is orgasming right now.
Man, you're talking about metal, man. Rest in peace, David Bowie.
Fucking
man.
Fantastic. Now that we've sidetracked this, I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring Alvaro. Please continue. How did you become an imagination connoisseur?
So ever since I've been very young, my dad would always take me to OMSI, the Oregon Museum of Science and Technology, and they have an auditorium there. It's beautiful IMAX Dolby Cinema, round dome. It was amazing, and one of my first memories is watching episode 2, Attack of the Clones, there with my dad. And, it's among the first ones. That's the first one. I just remember seeing a huge Yoda head and just being just like, that's awesome. I'm like 5 or 4, I don't know. I just looked at it and was like, that's awesome. And then from there, the next big piece of my identity as a just a science fiction fan, I'd say, is like Stargate Atlantis, man. It's just Stargate in general.
Love Stargate.
I'm so happy The Expanse is doing science
Love
fiction.
The Expanse.
Again.
And it's literary based, so it's
of course
they have the
amazing.
books, like, and I think it's even though they have some missteps, it's really, really good.
Oh man, it's on another level compared to some of the shows that came out in the mid 2010s and early 2010s, man. Like, it's amazing. But yeah, like that was like the second piece. And living in Oregon, Portland specifically, you have family, but they're pretty far away. Yeah. So for me, my role models were these characters I saw on TV, these cartoons, these just very inspiring characters who live a beautiful life in a beautiful place far away from our reality, our time and space. So it was always super inspiring. Just kind of like just seeing these characters who have made life so much simpler and beautiful, but still have their own problems.
No,
and I think that was always fascinating.
No, totally. Just plain Steve. I mean, what were some of your touchstones? Were there things you saw that, like, as a fan, blew your mind? That you're like, oh my god, I can't believe we have this. What were some of the things that like made you be like, oh my god, this is
okay? So this may seem like a bit of a reach, but I remember the first movie I ever saw. I was 4 years old. I'm 43 now. I was 4 years old. It was 1982, I believe. I think that's when it came out. My father took the whole family to go see E.T.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And I will not.
June
It's
of
one of my earliest memories. it blew my mind. And even as a young kid, I remember walking into the theater, the lights going down, just seeing this huge screen in front of me that I've never experienced something like that in my
Oh yeah.
4 years of life. But it just that blew my mind. That
yeah.
I mean, just remember just being awestruck, and that it kind of went maybe a little dormant for a while, but I think that was really the first thing I remember that really just blindsided me. It just hit me like a Mack truck, man. I'll never forget it.
Well, I have to tell you, I mean, people forget this, but E.T. was made under a veil of secrecy. No one knew what it was about. And the summer of '82, when it came out, was it was perhaps the best summer of all time. And in the space of 45 days, I'll rattle it off. It was Conan the Barbarian, Star Trek II, Poltergeist, E.T., Tron, The Road Warrior, John Carpenter's The Thing, and Blade Runner. They all came out in the same 45-day period of time. The summer of '82 was amazing. But E.T. was an unknown commodity because no one knew anything about it. So they had back in the day, they used to have public sneaks of movies where, and then there was no internet, so no one knew what the fuck they were. You know, if you were a fan, you read Starlog or Cinefantastique, you followed these movies, but there was no way to know what they were, and you knew, Steven Spielberg is making a film. But he also produced Poltergeist that came out on June 4th, 1982, and E.T. was coming out like 2 weeks later, and he directed it. And most people are like, well, what's the difference between producing and directing? I went to the theater the week before E.T. opened, and they showed it as a public sneak. I had no idea. It was just Steven Spielberg, and even the ads were like clouds with light shining down. Like you. I mean, just plain Steve. I sat in that theater not knowing what to expect. I was older than you, but I was like blown away. I was weeping by the end of the film. You know, John Williams score, like it was unfucking believable. And the entire audience by the end of that movie. Now, it's funny now because everyone knows E.T. But like Star Wars, we went into that theater
blind. Yeah.
It didn't exist. We'd never seen it before. We had no idea what it would mean. A single family kid finds an alien. I mean, we had no idea. Everybody who saw that movie at that time, we were fucking destroyed. I mean, I walked out of the theater as a kid like, I can't believe I'm crying. I didn't want anyone to know I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God. It was unbelievable.
You have to sometimes, man. You have to.
I know. But that was before I was a kid. Like, I'm like, oh man, I can't cry. Like, fuck that. I'm strong.
How did it feel to watch Jurassic Park for the first time in cinema?
Dude.
Because like those visual effects, man, even today, I just have no idea how they got it back good, man.
All right.
It's like over 20 years, man. That is ridiculous.
All right.
Such a feat.
And it holds up.
And it holds up perfectly.
Just plain Steve, you were there. What did you think of Jurassic Park when you saw it?
Well, I mean, at that time, I'd become kind of a fan of movies. I can't remember what year that came out, but
93.
93. Okay, so the movies I saw after that, like you had someone on from Kansas City earlier. I'm also from Kansas City, born and raised. So a lot of the theaters, the smaller theaters around, the second run theaters, my dad would take us to see all kinds of crazy stuff. My best friend growing up, at his house, I saw Big Trouble in Little China and Starman. Those were my go-tos for a long time. So by the time Jurassic Park came around was when I kind of started falling away from a lot of what I loved so much because it wasn't cool to be the nerdy kid, so I remember seeing it. I remember loving it. I remember seeing the dinosaur for the first time. Just kind of, it was, I don't want to say it blew my mind, but it mildly blew my mind. I mean, I loved it. It was great. I don't know. It was good. It was good. I don't want to oversell it, but I don't want to undersell it either. But it was.
Well, I mean, look,
was,
I'm older than you guys, and I would say I saw Jurassic Park at a theater that's called the Galaxy Theater that's no longer there on Hollywood Boulevard. Now, I was a kid that grew up loving stop motion animation and Valley of the Guanji and the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and
Kaijus, all that.
Yeah, all that. And I have to say, I'm thinking back to that moment, and the thing that kills me the most, and seeing Star Wars for the first time, but the thing that got me the most was that moment where they're going through the park and they're like, "Where are the dinosaurs?" And there's that moment where the trucks stop, and of course you see the Brachiosaurus rear up, and the first time you see the dinosaurs, and it's Sam Neill going and looks up. Dude, I lost that shit. I literally, like, I wasn't crying like I'm sad. I'm like seeing wonder, awe and wonder. I'm like, I believed it utterly. I'm like, oh my God, that's real, man. And the way Spielberg shot it was there's no God's eye view of the dinosaurs.
Nope.
He shot the entire film, all of the it's always from the human's perspective, and which I thought was genius. And you don't even know it when it's going, but that's why it makes it feel so real, because you're like,
Yes.
when Sam Neill takes off his glasses, I'm like, holy shit, that's exactly how I feel. I am taking off my glasses if I had them, but it was so good.
I tell you what I loved about that. You got a little payoff later. I think it was in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and apparently a lot of people didn't catch this right away. I caught it right away, but as they're getting on the boat and they're looking away, and the island is burning, and you see that dinosaur rear up on its hind legs, and then someone later confirmed that was because that was supposed to be the same dinosaur you see in that first scene. Like, I caught that right away, and that made me unexpectedly emotional.
Man.
You know, so
I know, right?
I think even though maybe I didn't feel blown away at the time, I still have an emotional connection to that original scene where you see him rear up on his legs and pick the leaves off the top of the tree. And then to see him later, you see that dinosaur, see him burning, in the lava and the smoke. That was probably the most emotional part of that movie for me. And I think that kind of speaks to how scenes like that really kind of stick with you over the years,
Oh, yeah.
The cool thing about these type of franchises, man, is that they incite real world innovation and change. And that's why, for me personally, the Star Treks, the Star Wars, the Jurassic Parks, they because like you said, Rob, you looked at that, and before that movie, you were like, oh, dinosaurs are amazing, but we'll never see them. They're just, they happen, but they're never going to be here. Kind of the same thing with Star Trek. And then you see it and you believe it. You're like, holy shit, it's there. How are we going to do it? I have no idea, but we did it in this film. It's possible. And that opens the doors for so many things. And I think that's why, for me, it's like, it's one of those transcending films that without it, people would never be inspired to do what they're doing. It's crazy.
I agree with you. I think Jurassic Park was more of a watershed moment than anyone will ever acknowledge, and people don't even get why. But it was also the time when CG put their flag in the ground and said, you know what, we can give you photorealistic dinosaurs. No one else can, and it changed everything.
That was ILM, right?
Yeah, it was ILM. Yeah, and
shout out George Lucas, man. All his fucking work. Just amazing.
Oh yeah, no, amazing. Let me ask you both. I have some super chats and things. So, Mr. Sean 3 Kids sends in a super chat and says, I already said that. You said no, wait, I already said that. Hang on. Poppins, right above him, says, does V'ger from Star Trek the Motion Picture count as an alien? I would say this, that V'ger is not organic. he is a machine, or it is a machine. So, I mean, if you want to have sex with that would be like having sex with your electric toothbrush, even though it's gigantic and amazing.
Well, you got to wonder if all these aliens would want to have sex with us, right? I mean, to them, we're the aliens, and we might be just equally as disgusting.
Well, I mean, the original. I'll tell you something. As a kid,
humans are pretty disgusting. We're pretty nasty creatures.
We are nasty creatures, but the whole thing about sex is what I find interesting about it is, we are beings of spirit and intellect that are trapped in these fleshy sacks, these meat sacks we walk around in. And at the end of the day, we have to breathe and we have to do all our biological activities, but we all secretly want to be, part of the Krell in Forbidden Planet or some shit where, like, we all want to live our best lives as immortals or whatever. Mm-hmm. So what I find like crazy and weird is that, okay, so sexuality is basically based on friction and imagination, where we're in our physical bodies, we love certain parts of ourselves touched. That's fine. And yet we want to couple that with, like, romance and whatever. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to friction and time, or it's very strange. We've made it all up. Sexuality, imagination, we've made it all up. It's just become, I mean, the idea that the real question is when you're with somebody you love or care about or whatever, you are with somebody else who's physical, and when they allow you to touch them in whatever way you're going to touch them, it's...
Hey, man, I'd go for it. I just went through in my letter I alluded to my wife, but I've since gone through a divorce, which has been kind of it is what it is. She was a little bit younger than me. I had 16 and a half years on her. I met her when she was 18. I was 34.
By the way, I would say bravo.
Yeah, redhead too. I got a thing for redheads, just like you. So
too,
beautiful
man.
Girl.
Yeah, redheads are crazy.
I would kind of probably go with about any alien I could get right now, because right now my idea of variety is using my left hand. So I would probably go for just about anything I could get.
So Rob, you were talking about predators, right? Man, when you were talking about predators, I was like, imagine watching like a predator, like, divorce attorney movie. I would love to see that. Just like, who's getting all these weapons? Who's getting the mask?
The Predator divorce attorney movie. Oh my God!
I would so watch it. There's so many interesting things.
L.A. Law on the Predator homeworld. Oh my God! You know what's funny though? I love this idea because why wouldn't they have divorce lawyers on the Predator homeworld?
I mean, they have a developed planet apparently from the film we watch. It's there. They're taking off. They have like these flight attendants being like, okay, yep, time to. They're civilized. They're a civilized society. Why wouldn't they have civilized law?
Technologically advanced, way more than we are.
Well, maybe they're smart enough not to get married in the first place. That's the real thing.
Perhaps. Oh gosh, maybe.
A very interesting thing. So hang on, we have some comic quirks with Jimmy. Sends in a super chat and says, "I just found out I'm being uncle, and they're naming the child Nova. Hashtag Marvel. Hashtag metal." Well, comic quirks, congratulations to your family. That is amazing. I would say just why not contemplate names for a couple of days? Maybe? What do you guys think?
Man, Nova's a dope name, dude. I have a friend who's called Nova.
Nova is a dope name. Man,
it's a dope nickname.
But Nova's also a star exploding. that was going to kill everyone in our solar system. Just saying.
Yeah, that's kind of a caveat, I guess.
I'm just, but I think it's beautiful, and what's more important is that that Jimmy found out he's going to be an uncle. Be a good uncle. Of
course, that's awesome.
Inspiring, good for you. Thank you. Poppins sends in a super chat and says, Dark Crystal. Are you guys Dark Crystal fans?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I can't say for myself either. I've heard about it, but I haven't spent the time to look at it.
The movie's a little languidly paced, but I will say this. It led to the streaming series 2 years ago. It's
Netflix,
so good.
Right?
Very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. So good.
Rob, if you knew the amount of movies I haven't seen, you'd probably kick me off your show right now.
No, I would not. There's no reason
horribly behind on so much stuff.
We all are, man. Don't even think that way. What's funny was, when I was a kid, there was only like 50 years of movies. Now I'm middle-aged with one foot in the grave. There's like 100 years of movies. So it's exponentially grown. So never feel bad about what you haven't seen or what you have seen. That's ridiculous. The fact is, you'll never catch up. They're always making more. We're all going to fucking die. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be on my deathbed going, God damn it. I wanted to watch Murnau's Sunrise one more time. And
that's how I feel about The Crow. My all-time favorite movie is The Crow. But just to kind of illustrate how far behind I was.
Dude, it can't rain all the time, though.
Can't rain all the time. For the first time ever last year, I just saw all the Star Wars movies.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
or so not awesome, depending on where you're coming from.
Here's the thing, Rob. I love science fiction. I love fantasy. Up until 2 years ago, I've never watched Lord of the Rings fully. I watched them all together, like back to back in like a day.
We're gonna get Rob a brain aneurysm.
What'd you think?
I think it was freaking amazing, dude. Just like the world building, the cinematography, the character design, the storytelling. It's a masterpiece. Like it really is. Like everything about it is so professional, and it takes some risks. It does, but they're so well performed. They're so well you just deliver it in such an amazing manner. And you worked on those films, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. That is fucking metal.
No, it was amazing. I mean, I spent like literally years in New Zealand. I mean, it was great. And what was what was really great about the Lord of the Rings films was it was basically made by people who lived in that neighborhood. It was a handmade thing that only could have been made in New Zealand at that time, and it was so inspiring to be there.
Yeah, that would definitely be on my list of 5 movies. Just that whole trilogy, I would take my desert island movies.
No, it was great. It was great. So let me ask you guys this. My friend Terje, my favorite Norwegian, says, I feel like the bloody Kirk in Wrath of Khan after carrying... Oh, this is terrible. Okay. So one of us, an old friend of mine, who I've known for 20 years, he lost his cat today. It was run over. So he says, I feel like the bloody Kirk in Wrath of Khan carrying my driven over cat home last night. Devastated. Life. Why is it so tough? Man. Stay metal, though.
Stay metal, man.
It's funny. I think that one of the greatest crimes of humanity will eventually be when we understand that our planet is full of very intelligent creatures. Like anyone who owns a dog understands they can communicate. They don't know language. They don't know, but They can talk to you. Literally, I have a dog that understands how to, like, I have two dogs. One's crazy and barks and is insane, but one of the dogs knows that it can come up to me and go like, woof, and be silent. And what he knows when he tells me, he's got two things. He's like, either I need to go outside right now and pee, or I'm hungry and might you give me some food? And he knows, like, and when I say I'm not anthropomorphizing, he gets it. He understands. So we live, imagine, like, there's a new documentary that James Cameron produced about whales that's on Disney Plus. That documentary is fucking crazy because he basically proves in that documentary that whales have families. They can talk to each other. And they can actually, and what's amazing is that we, for some reason, think that it's okay to eliminate,
murder them. Yeah.
And I look, I'm not some raging environmentalist, but I'm like we live in a closed system. Everything in our closed system has something to contribute. We might not get what it is, but it's like if you're driving down the street and you throw out some bag of your fast food wrappers, where do you think it's going to go? Like, why do you think it's okay to do that?
I agree.
We got to start taking care of stuff here, man. You know, just like you said with the animals, you know, and realizing how intelligent all these animals are. I mean, human beings are babies. You know, we've not been here for very long in the grand scheme of things. That's exactly right. We have so much to learn, and I think that if we knew everything there, you know, they always say the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, and
facts.
You know you know, to your friend, just if I could say a personal message to him, I know, you know, I had to put my cat down unexpectedly a few years back, one of my cats, and, you know, they're members of the family. And I give the same advice that I'll give to anyone who's lost a loved one is to always take time to mourn the passing, but don't forget to take time to celebrate the life and the memories and happiness they brought to you.
I agree 100. Thank you for that. Absolutely. I mean, what's amazing is, like, I never owned dogs. I grew up in a cat household, and 3 years ago, Elizabeth, my girlfriend, wanted to get a dog. And I was like, I love dogs, but I know nothing about them. So she was looking at breeders. She had a very specific dog she wanted. And the day we went and got this dog, Gilbert, our dog now, almost 4 years old, it was very interesting to me because, you know, I came at it from more of an intellectual perspective. It was very clear to me. And look, any dog owner knows this. Dogs are smart. Like, they have feelings. They can convey those feelings to you. And here's the thing. They don't know how to quantify. They have no language. It's not like us. They can't go like, I have a headache. Or I really feel kind of bummed out. I'm a little depressed today. They can't tell you that. But you can tell, owning a dog, how they feel. You get to understand their ebbs and flows and rhythms, and it's very apparent.
Man, on that,
and what I find interesting is we live on a planet where there are many alien species, whether it's whales or dolphins or dogs or sloths or whatever. We live on a planet that is full of alien creatures, and yet we approach this from this position that those creatures don't matter. Like, we can factory farm them, or we can kill them, or do whatever. As if that life, like we've convinced ourselves that those animals don't matter in the grand scheme of the rest of the world. And I would say that every single life form pardon me.
A little too much taffy.
Cinnamon, yes. So every single one of these creatures, we might not know what they mean, but they're all here. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, bro. You're fine.
I'm burning up. So what does it all mean? They all mean something. We live in a closed system. Every living being, down to the largest, like giraffes, rhinoceros. Yes, to the lowest, the most submicroscopic. It's our part of it. And yet we believe that as humans, doesn't matter. We're fucking dumb.
I think the problem is we've taken it too far. You know, I mean, if you go back, 20,000 years, 50,000 years, whenever the hell cavemen lived, and you see some hunters and gatherers out there killing food for their families, wouldn't see a problem with that.
Right.
The problem is we've taken it too far. We've like you said, made it. We farm these animals, and I love a good steak as much as the next guy.
Me
but
too.
The thing is, there's a balance. You have to, not to get too far off of the subject here, but you got to look at the world as one organism, and everything on this planet plays a role. And if
we are a closed system.
I think one of the things is we self-aggrandize our position in the ecosystem and just in our place in the cosmos. We, ever since the beginning of our intellect, people were like, "Oh, we're the center of the universe. The sun revolves around us." Come 1,000 years later, we're like, "Oh shit, we're actually dumb," and it makes sense that we revolve around a star. And that's the thing when it comes to humans, man. We're so self-centered, self-aggrandizing, and here's the thing, man. We do creepy shit. We do some fucking straight up creepy shit, man.
Yeah.
Just like we lock up chimps. Like those are our fucking closest relatives on a genetic scale, man. Like we're like 99% genetic match to chimps, and we lock them up in cages. Like, how is that something that's okay for? Because they're not just an animal. They're not just any type of animal. They're an animal with consciousness, an animal with feelings, social structures, and we do that to our closest relatives. It really speaks volumes about how we treat ourselves, society and as groups of people.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I've owned 2 dogs for the last couple of years, and what's amazing is the first dog we have is incredibly empathetic. He's a sweet individual, and he has a personality and can communicate. Look, for me, I grew up with cats. I didn't know. I never had a dog. What's amazing to me about the dog that I have is it's very apparent that he's a communicator. Like he communicates at a very high level. And the fact that he doesn't have language, he's not at our level, but as an animal that exists in a certain world and has certain needs and wants or whatever, I've been fascinated by how smart and how he's learned to communicate in the human world. And a lot of it is through communication. Like, I have a second dog that's crazy. It barks all the time. Our first dog, Gilbert, who's a Burnettdoodle. He's a 25% Bernese Mountain Dog and 75% Poodle. He knows that we don't like yappy barking. He figured this out. So he comes up to me like late night, and he'll sit down if he needs to go out and do his business or whatever, or there's some problem. He'll come by right up to my bed, and he'll put his paw up and maybe touch me, and he'll look at me and go, So he won't go, woof. He'll just go, woof. Just a little woof. So then he knows that I'm like, because he hates loud noises too. And that's something else. I understand he hates loud noises, and he's figured out that he can walk up. He knows when I talk that he doesn't understand, but he knows he's figured out a way that if he does a half bark or a woof, like woof, that I get what he understands, where I look at him and go, if you need to go outside, I'll walk him to the back door, open it up. If he has to go out, he'll go. If he doesn't, he'll do something else. And I'll look around and I'm like, oh, you're out of food, or can I change your water, or whatever. And it's not like I'm his slave. It's just he's trying to convey he's so fucking smart. He's figured shit out. And he understands. And this is not me anthropomorphizing my dog.
No, for sure.
I've watched it happen. And I'm like, dogs are smart. And then if you go on YouTube, there's 100,000 videos of people rescuing dogs that have been abandoned or whatever. And I think, how does anyone abandon a dog? Like, how do you... Because there's a lot of people that just don't know. Dogs are fucking smart. They're alien creatures that have been 19,000 years. They've been bred to be our friends. Everyone's like, oh, we have a dog. No, these dogs are intellects. They're people that are trying to figure out people. They are canines that are trying to figure out the world around them. And we have created or turned these creatures into something that are supposed to make us feel better. But do we ever think about the dogs? Like, dogs are intellectual creatures. And we only envision them as they serve us. They're gonna let us pet them or whatever. But the dogs, what's going on in their heads? You know, they've been bred and they're here and clearly, like, dogs have, maybe they have to go out and poop. But, like, we've got bathrooms and toilet paper. Dogs don't have that. What they do know is that dogs know, like, I don't want to poop where I sleep. And I need to get out that, whatever that barrier is, that, and the only way I can't open that door. So I need to figure out my masters. How do I convey to them, like, hey man, I gotta take a shit. I can't go in the bathroom, so you need to open the door and let me out. And dogs figure that shit out. They will figure out how to tell you what they need. And yet we live on a planet where there are plenty of people that won't acknowledge this fact. Whales, dolphins. We live on a planet where, like whales and dolphins, where they develop, they're not going to build computers because the ocean, they don't like, and yet we still want to believe that we're the dominant force on the planet, which is bizarre.
I mean, they have their own dialects. That's the crazy thing.
I know, right?
Here's the thing, man. How much smarter? You just take a random ass dolphin or like a beluga whale or whatever, and take a random ass person who don't like just clear slate and drop them in the same place. Which one's smarter than the other? Like, because we've been very blessed to have individuals with extreme intelligence that have pushed us forward as a society. Yeah. Like, without those people, like, where the fuck are we? We're not that much. We're not. I mean, we're smart, but like, it takes a lot of work to be where we're at. You know?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. By the way, Andy LDN sends in a super chat and says, a bit of a woman's perspective. Obvious ones would be Chris H. Thor and Henry C. Superman. In terms of who do girls want to fuck? You know, obviously, Chris Hemsworth, of course. I mean, those are like the supreme specimens. But the aliens from the cage, you can have sex without sex and probably be the best night of your life. That's a very interesting perspective. Because the Telosians could make you have whatever you wanted to have. And when it comes down to it, I mean, sex is a very weird thing. It's all imagination. You're all just, it's friction and biology, but yet you're making it into something else in your head.
You're transforming it, yeah.
You're creating. Listen, gentlemen, I need, it's not very fucking metal, but I need to go to bed only because I have a moderators meeting, and at 12 o'clock, there have been new members on this show, by the way. 5 people became new members of my channel, and all of them, and you're all welcome for $1 a month. You become members tomorrow, beginning at noon, which is 8 hours, and I can't. I never sleep. But we will be back, and we will be doing a live members Zoom chat for the channel.
Yeah, I got a family event tomorrow. That's kind of why I took my shot tonight, because I
I
want to
say, just plain Steve, thank you, and I want to say also to Alvaro Bazan. Is it Bazan or Bazan? How do you pronounce it?
Yes, Alvaro Bazan, and you know what? Like, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. My friend Jorge and I've watched you since back in 2016, 2015 with Schnepp and John Campia.
Oh man.
And you guys, that's how we became friends. Me and my friend, we talked about movies, and we're like, we said one of your quotes or whatever. We're like, oh, you watch this dude? I'm like, yeah, we watched that dude. That's awesome. And so thank you for everything you've done for the community as people, and thanks for Cody Banks, man. I loved Cody Banks as a kid.
Oh my God, I can write a whole book about the horror of that, but I will. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Listen, I just want to thank both of you for coming on to fucking Midnight Metal. Fucking yeah. And
Absolutely.
You know what's great? I mean, it's great to have you all. And by the way, everybody that came on tonight, thank you so much. And I want to thank the Richard for being here moderating. And, this channel is based upon the premise that we're all part of the same community. And it's all about joining in. And I think what Midnight Metal has sort of become, I thought it was a joke. But I was like drunk, like, yeah, fuck Midnight Metal. And then I realized, people are going to show up. And people are thoughtful and interesting, and I have to thank both of you and everyone who's been on tonight, all of the people that have made this channel what it is. I cannot thank you enough, and I hope this remains a place where everybody feels they can come and be welcome and be heard. And I'm not some social crusader. What I believe in is I believe in us. I believe in people, and I believe in we're all bonded by the power of imagination. And this is not some highfalutin bullshit. It's true.
Fantastic.
It's true because you know what? No matter how bad life is going, you find something you like, whether it's a record album or a video game or a movie, and if you have that collective experience, the rest of the world melts away, and you're like, oh, let's talk about it. I loved when fucking Luke was standing out there looking at the twin setting suns of Tatooine, and it's like,
Ideas just
everyone gets that. So, but I want to thank you both for being here. I have to pee, and I have to leave, and I have to sleep because I have to be back tomorrow. I want to thank. Perhaps that's not a metal admission, but
totally
fucking A. I'm going to say to all of you, thank you for being here for the first episode of Metal May. Thank you all. And thank you for supporting the channel. I want to thank the Richard for being here moderating. My God. I mean, the Richard makes this channel what it is. I want to thank all of you for supporting the channel via super chats and tips. If you want to send in a letter, you can at the Burnettwork.net. So I'm going to, please, a round of applause. No one will hear it, but give it up for Alvaro and give it up for Just Plain Steve. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. I will then say this. Remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. This comes to an end of Midnight Metal episode 10. Will we be back tomorrow night, Saturday night? Probably. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Dave Parker's getting his second vaccination shot. Maybe he'll have horrible... he'll be shivering in his bed. I don't know. But if he's not, Dave Parker and I will come back for Midnight Metal 111, which is, let's face it, 111, maybe not as cool as 666, which is fucking metal. It's the number of the beast. It's fucking Iron Maiden, bruh. But other than that, I will say to all of you, thank you all for being a part of this show. Thank you all for supporting it. And I'm going to play this new, what is this? And gentlemen, thank you for being here.